Sports Star is KTFM Floresville and streaming online at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
NBA free agency began yesterday with a bang. The Spurs jumped in with both feet, bringing in Celtics former big man Luke Cornett on a 4-year, $41 million deal. In other news, it's official. Texas State is part of the Pac-12. The board approved the $5 million exit fee to lead the Sun Belt and have accepted entry into the reformed Pac-12. They will join starting July of 2026. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody! Whoop, whoop! It's the Morning Huddle 94.1. Not the Blitz. No, it's not that. I got it all figured out now. You won't confuse me. Oh, yeah, I was very confused yesterday. It was a tough day for me.
I don't think we hit it once.
Oh, yeah, I was
No, I'll give you credit for one.
maybe one. I don't know. I was a disaster yesterday on that show. There's something about that show that just breeds bad radio in me. I don't know what it is. Being in here from 2 to 6, it's like a poison. Shots fired!
Yeah.
No, I kid. We're glad to be in here yesterday, get that done. I rested so well last night knowing I'd put in a hard day's work. I don't know about you, Rob. Did you go home and you put your head on your pillow and
No, I partied last night.
you popped champagne, popped some bub?
It was Monday night at the Thompson Casa.
That's right. Monday night is spaghetti night.
No, it's what is it? It's Caddy Day around the club. What was your night like?
I went home and I sat there was an awkward tension in my house because my wife had lost patience with the boys at some point. And she was like, yeah, I kind of went off. And I said, okay, well, like what caused it? And it's basically because my boys are lazy a-holes. And
they're teenagers.
Yeah. And she's like, well, one of them responded by being helpful, and the other one
I can guess which way that went.
has gone upstairs and not spoken to me since. And she's like, and I want to punch him in the face. So I had to.
Great parenting at its best.
Well, man, every one of us has been there. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with it. But yeah, I've been in those situations where you walk in and you could just, before you even see anybody, you could just feel the energy in the house. Like, oh no.
Yeah, what's happened while I was
There's something going on in here.
What has happened?
The hair on the back of your neck stands up.
So I did some mediation there. Ate some Chinese food, and then I retreated to my office to avoid all of this.
Everything. Nice.
And my office project is like, I don't know when it's ever going to be over, but it's a slow project for sure. So anytime I need to escape reality, I just go in there and work on that and pretend like nothing else is going on for a while. And I guess my wife watched a movie. My kids played video games, I'm sure.
So is everybody in a different room?
Oh,
House dead quiet?
yeah. Because also the boys aren't getting along. So,
well, of course, it's the middle of summer. It's hot.
So it was one of those nights, man, where I didn't have strife with anyone, but everyone else in my house was having strife with each other.
You normally offer such a calming effect on the room.
That's right.
Yeah, you normally just bring a kind of a velvety, soft feel.
Well,
So I'm sure you didn't bring any tension as you
I
walked in the
actually-
door.
I
Or
actually
did you just
didn't,
realize? Did you get it and just disappear?
Listen, man, I know when the time is to get the hell out of Dodge.
See, my wife at that point would have called some sort of mandatory. We're going to suffer through dinner together.
We did do that.
We're all going
The
to sit
Chinese
around
food came and everyone
and-
ate in silence.
and no one say a freaking word. But
No-
you have to sit next to each other and see if we can stand the next 15, 20 minutes.
Uh,
No phones.
my youngest at one point during dinner said, "This is really good, Dad," and
That was it?
and my oldest said, "It's not like he cooked it," and that was about the end of the dinner conversation.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, it was a tense night. And,
Everybody retreat.
and
Are
I
they upset because they had to move here? Or
no.
It's the middle of summer.
They're all just on each other's
There's
nerves.
nothing to do. You've
Yeah.
played the same video game forever. You're either stuck on a level that you can't get freaking past, or you've already closed every game out and there's nothing left to do. Your brother is a complete prick right beside you. No, you suffer. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And I get it.
get it.
At that point, you just kick him out of the house. In my day, it was just like, get the hell out. I'll see you when the streetlights come on. You can't come back inside. That's what my mother would have done. Just get the hell out. I don't care where you go. You just can't stay here.
So I retreated to my office, and my dog wisely followed me in there and just laid down next to me. She knew also there was tension in the house. She didn't like it.
they know.
One day,
So-
you're going to come home empty nesting. Your wife be cooking dinner in just an apron, nothing on.
Ooh.
The dream lives.
That
Wait,
won't
what's she
happen.
House will
cooking?
be spotless.
What's she cooking?
Whatever you want.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cold martini waiting at the door. June Cleaver.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
years are coming up.
Oh, something
know.
tells me that ain't happening.
Well, you never know.
Aw.
The dream lives, right?
Oh yeah. But what's funny is my boys are turning my wife into a feminist. Like, she's becoming a man hater because of my children.
Mm-hmm.
You need a daughter.
No, I don't need that. God, no.
That's
I've got
gas to a fire. Trust me. I grew up with, it was me and my brother, and then my sister was much younger than me. So we had a little sister to add gasoline to any fight.
Yeah,
It was, an added female presence doesn't improve.
that ain't
anything.
gonna help. Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm hoping that today things are smoothed over. That's the big problem is there's no sporting event for me to go hide to. Like, if I said, "Oh, I've got to go watch this regular season Major League Baseball game,"
It's for work.
my wife would be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" No, you don't. Like, she knows that there's something. And even like, I can get away with it during college basketball season because she knows that I bet real money on college basketball. But baseball, she's like, she knows if I bet on a baseball game, it's gonna be like $50, and
Doesn't matter.
she knows it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter, and we both have this weird standoff of like, I don't have anything to pretend like I'm gonna go do to get away from everyone.
Well, the
but-
secret
so
is you
once
got to
this-
get the boys out of the house.
Well,
You got to give them money, go play golf, go to the batting cage.
I mean, you got to realize. I mean, what time did I get
go to the
home? I
movie.
got home at like
no,
7.
I'm not
last
saying to you. She got to just get in the car and get the hell out. Go.
Yeah. Well, we do have season passes to Schlitterbahn,
Go.
and 2 days ago they went.
Go again.
But the problem is now they're not getting along because they went to
So?
Schlitterbahn together and rode in a car together. So now we're back to how do we figure this out?
You guys, you are in the same foxhole. You got to put them. You got to make it seriously. I would make it them against me. They had to be in the foxhole. I'd be equally awful to both of them because one of them was being terrible, and I made them both hate me. And there was some unity built, and it was on purpose. Like I can't have you guys fighting all the time. So you got to at least hate me.
Well, I don't want to turn them totally. I don't want to tear them up totally because my wife still likes one of them a little bit.
Well, no,
So
no.
I-
What you'll find, I'm not kidding. What you will find is once they have that unified front, everybody gets along.
Okay.
But right now, everybody's fighting a three-pronged war.
Yeah.
Then you need to have equal sides.
It was one of those days by the time I got home, I said, you know what, I'm glad, that I worked a double shift. I'm glad that I didn't go home to nap. I napped at the office. Like, it was just
Yeah. Well, you
probably
might have been
best.
able to avert the tension if you'd gone home. Because
No.
you would have just, like, put your foot down. Like,
No, because I probably would have been sleeping when the explosion happened. And then
give them something, like, hard, like, work outside. Have them plant a tree.
I don't want those kids messing up my yard.
No. Let's have them they're not going to get much done. But they're going to be exhausted by the time they fight and stand out in the sun for a couple hours. Too tired to fight. Give them a
Maybe
job.
so.
Give
I
them a
don't
gig.
know. Ugh.
And some money at the end. An impossible thing.
Yeah. Listen,
It's
man.
going to take like 3 days of work.
I got two freeloaders. You're telling me to give them money?
Well, no, that you'll
Like-
give them anything, and you can rest assured they won't actually earn it. But maybe the carrot's out there enough to get them outside.
I don't know.
Everybody better off.
Get him a BMX bike. That's what they did to us.
That was in my day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean,
I got a Hutch Pro Raider, and my friend got a Mongoose.
the problem, like,
mongoose.
so my
Green.
younger son, he skateboards a lot,
Oh Oh, there you go.
But the problem is our neighborhood,
You got some good hills.
there's big hills, and it's real fun going down, but then
you got to go back.
going all the way back.
It's not fun.
If there was only some sort of escalator that would get him back up there. So he's like, yeah.
Kind of lift.
Yeah, he's like, it's kind of hard. You need kind of flat ground to skate, and it's hard to find. But listen,
Hey,
man,
the doldrums of summer.
They'll figure it
lived
out.
through it.
they'll figure it out, or they won't, and they'll be dead one day, and my wife will be in prison, and
And then everybody will be better
You'll
off.
be here
then, too.
telling us what happened.
Everybody's happy.
and I'll be back in my one-bedroom apartment, just me and Blueberry.
Well, the good news is it's
back
July.
to square one.
You only got about 6 more weeks of this.
That's true.
I mean, they're going to start school 1st August.
That's
just
true.
about.
Once,
one of them will.
Well, once my son gets through this Puerto Rico baseball trip,
gets a gig where
he'll
he's
get a job.
gainful employment, does
And
improve your outlook.
I think that having him with something to do and get the hell out of the house is going to do not only him a lot of good, it's also going to do my wife a lot of good.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I'm just looking forward to getting him on that plane to Puerto Rico. That's the big goal.
As long as you got that, and I imagine the walls are closing in on Mama right now.
Yeah, she's
probably getting a little stir
She's had
crazy.
about enough.
Mhm.
Had
She's
just
arranged a
about
lot of crap.
enough. All right. Big show for us today.
Hey, man, what are the biggest?
Free agency is underway. Free agency, that's right. The Spurs making an early move. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about all the big moves in free agency. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Traffic starting to fill in on 35 northbound, 1604 to Evans, and 35 southbound, 1604 to Pat Booker Road. That is road work. It's got the roadway reduced to one lane. Only that right lane is open. So start moving over. This is about a 25-minute delay as you stop and go from FM 3009. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, do call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
Bobby Bones here with some easy trivia. What does the Staples Easy button say? That was easy. Boom. I mean, that was easy. You knew that, right? And now you know to press it for prints, shipping, and even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. I see you, Staples. That was easy.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
The Black Friday and July event from Dell Technologies is here with great offers on trusted technology. You'll also discover huge deals on new AI-ready laptops like the Dell 14 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Save on top accessories, plus enjoy fast, free shipping and other benefits. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and price.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Fireworks are awesome, but overpaying for them? That's not so awesome.
Mr. W Fireworks, we've got the lowest prices around.
Like, lower than anyone.
No hidden fees, no crazy markups, just real savings with pre-tariff pricing. Our family has been doing this since 1963.
And the selection, it's huge. We have so many fireworks.
Go to MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. Mr. W Fireworks, we have pre-tariff prices.
Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations. This restrictions apply.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob. Welcome back, Vic.
Yeah.
He's well hydrated today.
Yeah, what's going on, Bubba?
Yeah, just dehydrated really bad.
Bro, you need a Camelback when you're working in the lawn.
I'm telling you. No, I think I just went out without drinking a lot of water.
Well, that's what they would put in the Camelback.
No, but still.
I mean,
He used it for wine.
Maybe that was what it was.
I was making my own diet soda.
What'd your wife say about it? Did she say you're a big dummy?
No, she's all like, dang it.
Oh, she was hoping you'd go.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of life insurance. Big time, big time. Do you think, how long do you think it will take your wife to make love to another man after you die?
I don't know.
What a terrible thing to consider.
Probably.
I know.
Does that cross your mind?
Yeah, of course. For Vic, yes.
What about for,
I don't know, about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Oh, that would be offensive if I were you.
I personally wouldn't care.
I think you would care.
I'm gone.
Yeah, but then why'd you even say what's the
I
what's the big deal?
Of being gone. I mean, that means you're processing your own
Well,
death.
Vic's thought about it. He's got one kidney in the beatus, and then he had a heat stroke. He's like, Vic could go any day now.
My wife's just waiting.
Yeah.
She's just waiting.
Have you ever asked her how long will it take for you to lay with another man after I'm gone?
Oh, she's told me, like never. I'd lay on your side of the bed forever.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever.
Yeah, and I would say, yeah, you better, because I don't want some dude sleeping on my spot.
I know. Let the dude sleep on your side.
Yeah, get all that stuff on your pillow and stuff. Ugh.
I'm more of a stoic. Carry on. I'm a bag of dust. I am but a memory. Carry on.
Oh yeah, I'm curious what Vic's wife's plan is after he goes, and I'm sure.
Know, man.
Now there's that. There's the death of natural causes. Now if I should disappear.
Oh no!
If I should just not show up.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition.
And my wife being the true crime aficionado that she is.
And there's some
you
movie
probably will never find me, and she'll get away with it.
Yeah, there's some movie where the guy is gone and the gal. Isn't it? I don't know what. There's a movie where the guy's gone and the gal finds a new man. Oh, it's Castaway.
Oh yeah, Castaway. That's right.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
So like, if you disappeared and they couldn't find you, would she take another man?
After
probably
5 years. Yeah.
Okay, but then
home.
what happens if you showed up after the 5 years?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you'd been kidnapped by a
if I
Buffalo
disappear,
Bill.
well, I'm just telling you, if I don't show up for work, it isn't because I have another life. It's because she took me down. If I just disappear, I didn't leave on my own volition.
Well, yeah, but it could have been anybody who disappeared
But if I go on, if I'm a FedEx guy and I disappear in the middle of the ocean, you have every bit to carry on. After 5 years, if that should happen, I wouldn't blame you.
Are you going to come by and pick up your stuff when you get
I
home?
wouldn't expect
or like,
that you kept my stuff.
not even like in storage or like.
Why is he wearing my stuff?
Yeah, imagine like all your fancy guayubaras or whatever.
I've been gone for 5 years, declared dead. There's a thing in the cemetery with my name on it.
What
I
if he's
get
a
it.
Longhorn?
Oh, imagine.
And he carried on. He got it too.
Imagine Rob shows up and there's some dude cooking breakfast on his Blackstone,
wearing a Longhorn
and he'd just be like, "Oh, no big deal. You thought I was dead." You'd be pissed off, man.
I would have been gone for 5 years.
There's like a sign in the yard that says, "This is a hook'em house."
Well, see, you say that. You don't know my wife.
That'd be awful.
Well, my wife's an Aggie, too.
Oh, it'd be a house divided house then. It'd be one of those signs.
Our allegiance runs pretty deep.
Yeah. Orange and maroon down the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
My advice to you is to keep my wife out of your mouth.
Oh, I hope none of us get disappeared. That would be the worst. I'd be pissed off. That's what the one that would piss me off is if I was just like if there was a body and she moved on. Okay, I get it. But if I was just disappeared, like kidnapped perhaps,
and you weren't accounted for, we don't know where you are.
You're supposed to never give up hope.
Right.
It's till death do us part, not till like
right.
I disappear for a few years. Well, what if you're not?
In a plane crash.
What if it's not a plane crash? What if you're just gone one day?
What if you go to the
Well,
Army
if I'm
Navy
gone
game
one
and you
day, what I'm
disappear?
telling you is she's killed me.
What if I kidnapped you?
I'm just saying, you wouldn't.
I know I wouldn't, but what if a bad guy did? I'm not a bad guy.
I'm telling you, if I disappeared.
Listen, there's bad guys
she
who work
did
in
it.
our office. What if one of them takes you?
If I disappear, she did it.
You
I'm
believe
just
that?
telling you from the grave.
I would keep her name out of your mouth if I were you.
Just telling you.
That's funny.
Well, hopefully we all make it through the week.
Yeah.
I'm less sure than I've ever been. Okay, let's start with free agency. And there was a little bit went on. I think we did hit the $500 million number yesterday.
Easy by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we were. That was the goal. It didn't end up happening on our show, but shortly after the show, things started popping off. Including a little nugget for the Spurs of San Antonio, and a guy that you had already kind of had your eyes on. It seems Luke Cornett is going to be a Spur, 4 years, $41 million with the San Antonio Spurs. You and I both have long liked the idea of a big man. I don't know that this is what we had in mind, but I guess it's as close as San Antonio's willing to get, right?
He was the Hartenstein replacement. And if you like Hartenstein, what he did in the finals, you're going to love Luke Cornett because that's what he does.
Yeah, he's
Everything
a pick setter.
all of that. So
yeah.
if you love that, this is what you're getting. So and in my mind, that's a great thing. And they got him for less than the mid-level. They got him for less than that. So good good pay. Couldn't be happier. Now, I don't know what the plan is. I don't think he's a starter. He only played 20 minutes. And
no, I can't imagine that.
People are going to look at those numbers and go, 20 minutes and 5 points. Again, watch Isaiah Hartenstein tape. If you want to see what the highest part of Luke Cornett's game will be, it's that. And
well, and remember,
get.
Like they talked about it during the finals, Hartenstein has more game. He just accepted this role.
Yeah.
Cornett is, I think, would certainly accept whatever role he's given.
It will be elevated, I can assure you. No, this is ideal if that's what you wanted them to get. Now, it's not. He's not a starter. He could be, I guess.
I don't think he is.
But he's not doing big things, but he is very good at what he does. He's a three-tool dude. And, this is a big help. And he's a good pro, He comes from good stock.
Yeah, and this is I don't know. It at least gives you somebody who's got some size when Wemby's not on the floor for any amount of time. I think this is a good thing. What's he, like a 7-year pro? This is a guy who's been around the block. This is a guy you could trust to go out there and do what he's supposed to do.
I get the sense that
it ain't sexy, but it gets a job.
Oh no, it's kind of. I get the sense that kind of. Boston owed us a solid, so I think they put in a good word for us, because of the Derek White deal, how fortunate that turned out for them, because we kind of set Derek White free, and he gets up there and does so well that the irony is we sneak in and get a very valuable piece for less than, I think, market value. I really do. The $10 million a year for this guy, and you saw the role that he played in the playoffs and how important he was per minute. It was a solid, and like you said, it's not going to light the world on fire. People are going to look at Luke Cornett, but he does he's a three-tool dude, and he does those three. He picks, he rolls and pops, and he plays defense, man. And that's enough to get you on the court at least 20 minutes or more with this team. So it should work well.
Yesterday, a few bigs moved around that same time, and then I started comparing the value of Luke Cornett, and I wanted to get your thoughts. Kayvon Looney. You like him more or less?
Well, I mean, Kayvon is another proven winner, but he is he's more of a in the paint post. He's not going to be your high pick dude. He can defend all the way out to a 3, I think, but just not the kind of dude we've been thinking about. So no, I think he's valuable though.
2 years, $16 million for him with the Pelicans, which I thought that's a pretty decent price for him. I was surprised to see Clint Capella go back to the Rockets. 3 years, $21.5 million.
Dude, their chips are on the table. They are all in, man. That's a good basketball team.
And that's $7 million a year for Clint Capella is pretty good value, right?
The ring's the thing. I think he smells it. This is
Maybe
a team
so.
that is in it.
And a guy that we talked about, Brook Lopez, 2 years, $18 million with the Clippers. So just $9 million a year for Brook Lopez. So
and when you start putting that into the context of where legitimate known bigs are signing for, Cornett went above market.
I think so.
So I think that shows what the Spurs saw and everybody else did too, that this guy really does fill that kind of Hartenstein need. And we keep talking about the league being a copycat, and he does that well.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's hit a quick break. We'll go through some of the rest of the. I didn't mention Mason Plumlee, 1 year, 3.6 to the Hornets.
We had a little bit of Plumlee life in the past.
Did you have Mason?
Which Plumlee did we have?
Mason or Miles Plumlee?
For a minute. Maybe that was on a Team USA team that coached.
Maybe, who knows?
Coached.
Either way.
He has an affinity for the Plumlee family.
I would imagine if you had him, it would have been easy to forget. All right, we'll be right back. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Traffic starting to fill in on 35 northbound 1604 to Evans and 35 southbound 1604 to Pat Booker Road. That is roadworks. Got the roadway reduced to one lane only. That right lane is open. So start moving over. This is about a 25 minute delay as you stop and go from FM 3009. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, do call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In store, online, and on the app. In 23 while supplies last.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Tuesday on The Blitz, it won't be us. We assume it'll be Jason and Joe.
I know who won't be there. My sweet, sweet kitty. We'll see what they've got planned. They're back in the saddle. Don't be late. Their party starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's a lot of power in here.
Yeah. While I was out yesterday, I saw Back to the Future.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a classic. It's one of those, and there's probably 6 or 7 movies that if in the days when you used to scroll and just go from channel to channel, if I hit it, I'd watch the rest of it.
Oh, yeah, me too.
There's about 6 or 7 movies that if you find it, well, I'm stuck for the next hour.
My younger son has probably watched Back to the Future 50 times. He loves Back to the Future. He's read books about it.
Raised him right. I'm impressed.
Kingsley disagrees. He says the kids are lazy, huh? We call that a direct reflection. Discipline. A soldier, a SEAL, and little kids are hazing you. Put them outside.
Well, I mean, thanks, Mr. Gen X. I think we all agree. That
Now, Kingsley, first, this is when I couldn't figure out what he was talking about when he said a soldier and a SEAL. I remember once I said my wife was the 3rd ever female Navy SEAL.
Oh, yeah.
I totally made that up. She's the opposite of that. She's a pillow princess. She's
a Barbie doll.
She would never survive outdoors.
You don't see her making it through buds.
No. I didn't think anybody believed it when I said that. Was like me throwing shade, but no, yeah, she's actually not the 3rd ever female Navy SEAL. She
I was gonna say, man, she probably didn't make it through Hell Week.
No, I would never marry someone who could whoop my ass. That was like one of my rules of thumb. Was like,
don't marry somebody tougher than you.
Yeah, don't marry anybody who can beat me in a fight. That's my.
Your wife will camp though.
Yeah, but not under.
My wife won't even camp.
My wife won't be yelled at certainly by anybody. Some.
Oh hell!
She ain't going to the Navy.
That is not happening.
No.
Although my wife would make a pretty good TI. We called them TIs. You called them DIs. But my wife would make a pretty good brown round hat.
Yeah. She
could run a basic training platoon.
Well, although again, my wife would probably my wife would go to prison if she were in charge of a bunch of young recruits. Not for having sex with him, I like to hope, but for murder would be the more likely scenario, unfortunately. A couple other signings from yesterday. I guess we talked. We do have a different audience now, so it's not the exact same show that we did yesterday. But the party got started with Jaren Jackson. 5 years, $240 million. Like he was the one max guy who got
was
the job.
writing checks at 5 o'clock. Memphis, bam, bam, bam. 3 guys. Santi, they signed their forward. They signed their big. They got busy early.
Spencer
and Spencer. I guess that was all the fruits of the Desmond Bain deal. So they planned their work their plan. Boom, out of work.
They figured out a way to move on from Cole Anthony, and also they made what looks like is going to be one of the bigger splashes of free agency. It was a guy that we talked about, Ty Jerome.
Yeah,
ends up in Memphis as well.
All fruits of not having to pay Bain. So I appreciate what they did, and they did it kind of rudderless. Remember, they went through some coaching issues there, but it looks like in the offseason, I don't know if it's the right direction, but they chose a direction, which you have to appreciate.
Yeah, maybe one of the bigger things that happened yesterday happened away from the free agent market and was actually a trade. Michael Porter Jr. goes to Brooklyn. Cam Johnson goes to Denver. So the Cam Johnson, the free Cam Johnson thing, I guess it's happened. And I'll tell you what, man, I suddenly am a lot more interested in Denver than I was this time yesterday.
Think about this. Okay, so when Malone got fired, and what was the GM's name? Popeye? Who was the GM? Anyway, they ended up both GM and coach got fired. And they got fired because coach
Calvin Booth.
Booth, that's right. So Booth felt like Michael Porter Jr. should play. We're paying him the money. He's got to play.
Even though he sucks.
And Malone called him out. Like, if anybody's watching film, we know who shouldn't be playing. Yeah. That kind of stuff. So it's all about Porter. So both GM, coach, and now Porter are gone in less than, 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
What a monument. This one dude caused a collapse of a championship, not a collapse, but another change of course. It's a crazy cautionary tale of how a championship team can literally collapse because dudes get paid far more than they're worth.
Oh, yes.
And the rest of the team knows. I mean, there is a democracy to a team in that they know who should be playing and who shouldn't.
Yeah.
Everybody, and if there's ever any doubt, if there's not clearly defined why players are playing, and if you feel like you're getting paid to play, you're getting money minutes, as they were known. If you're getting money minutes, that's not play minutes. That's just because you're getting paid more than me. That's why a team collapses, and they fell apart. And then, out of a miracle, out of a savior, they trade up.
They really did.
They got better. So, cautionary tale to everybody involved, a brilliant move by them that's still there.
All due respect to the Rockets and what they've done, in my mind, with that move yesterday, the Nuggets are the biggest threat to the Thunder.
Well, I think they are because they've taken the Thunder to Game 7, and I will give you that. But I will say, man for man, the Rockets are significantly better.
I disagree.
Oh, that law firm landing. They got a dude that can defend 5 positions with one of the hardest defensive coaches going. They've got enough offense to save games, which they couldn't last year. Dude, they're a scary team.
A starting 5 of Jokic, best player in the world.
Oh, I'm with you.
Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown, and Jamal Murray.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good,
Pretty
man.
good.
I mean, there's not really a weak spot on that front line anyway.
The West is solid, man. They know how to do it. They know that, but for a game, they could have been where OKC sits today. So
and Denver has they've got a couple guys, one guy I love, Julian Strawther. I love, and I think is going to be a special player
he's
eventually.
Have to, because that's going to be the issue with them. The depth is going to be their problem, and that's where I give the edge to Houston.
Maybe
Houston
they do have more depth,
more.
Certainly, but they don't have a Jokic.
But no one does. But if Strawther can turn out, the West just got a whole lot tougher. There's no doubt. And the Grizzlies didn't get worse. I still think they're treading water. But they're certainly going to be competitive.
Oh, they're fighting, yeah. And Denver and Memphis, a lot of it comes down to how's coaching.
Well, that's the other question. We will wait and see. But that's going to be the issue on several of the higher end teams. A lot of playoff teams are looking at coaching.
This is a new phenomena where, I mean, we forget that Memphis was, for most of last season, the second best team in the West. And they had a bad 8-game stretch and fired their coach.
Well, Bain and Santi got in a fight, so everything fell apart.
Denver fires their coach right before the playoffs. It's like suddenly all these coaches of winning teams are getting fired in season. That's a new thing.
It is, and that's one of those things, AJ, when we look at – it's so easy to look at a championship team in the moment and go, I don't know how they're going to fall apart. I don't know how they can't repeat this because they're so good right now. But when we get further and further away from the championship and you see all the things that are possible that can happen to championship teams that you don't see coming, coaches and players getting mad and GMs getting fired 2 years away from a title and managed to turn things around. Edwin was in the studio earlier today, and we were talking about the Spurs getting and what Houston did. And Atlanta has had a pretty good – we haven't gotten to where Atlanta is. They've really spent some money, interestingly. So – how quickly things can change and how the window went from, you got a solid core. There's no reason to expect you can't be competitive for 5 years. No, now you got 3. That's it. Even right off a title, you only got 3 more years if you don't do it right.
And I would say, well, they've got Mark Daigneault. How could they possibly fire Mark Daigneault? But when you think about these guys who have won Coach of the Year and then just gotten canned almost immediately after, it happened with with Mike Brown.
And Bud, too.
Bud. It happened with Dwayne Casey. Who's the other one that it happened? Oh, George Karl. George Karl got fired. And Byron Scott. Guys who have been, really good coaches, and they're like, yeah, but no, it's not good enough.
You're easily replaced, and the players don't like you. And at the end of the day, if they don't like you, I can find somebody look just like you to do something different.
Now, again, with how this OKC team has presented themselves, and at least the perception of them is they're a family.
And that's why no matter how good Denver gets, no matter how many dudes they add, no matter how many dudes Houston adds, they don't have that.
Right.
And I think that's such a separating factor. So they're fighting for number 2 and hoping for a chance. Is really all that they can hope to do.
But you can't just stand pat. The only team that can stand pat right now seems to be Oklahoma City. Everybody else is trying to figure out how to close the gap.
Well, their free agent is a draft pick that's walking in the door. I mean, they've got. I went back and saw some film of him as they just talked about Topic going to finally be available. This kid can play, and he fills a void. And I talked about having to get Chris Paul, a dude that can kind of deliver the ball when required in late moments.
Yeah,
they might already have him in the building.
Yeah,
he might already be there.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll wrap up the first hour of the show. Morning Huddle 94.1.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Fireworks are awesome, but overpaying for them? That's not so awesome.
Mr. W Fireworks, we've got the lowest prices around. No hidden fees, no crazy markups, just real savings with pre-tariff pricing. Go to MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Tonight, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I just saw in the candy machine, Vic.
Uh-oh.
A candy bar has fallen down.
Oh, and it's stuck?
Well,
it's right next to the peanut M&Ms. And I'm of the belief that if you buy the peanut M&Ms, you'll get two for one, but I can't tell what the second bar is. I can't tell what, so it's like, it's almost like you're taking a blind bonus.
Yeah.
Like it's
nothing healthy.
Well, I don't know. It could be. It could be.
Could be a granola bar.
It might be a granola. Whatever it is a mystery. But
I'll get into it.
Okay, yeah. Let me know what you think of this. Like when you see how it's aligned, you let me know if you think it's a 2-for-1.
It's a risky endeavor.
It is.
Could end up with nothing.
Right. I mean, it could just spin and then the M&Ms don't come out and they
cracks together and you end up with nothing.
It's a big risk, but
I don't know. Is it
could be a big reward.
I mean, it's only $6.75 for that candy bar. I don't know why you wouldn't risk it.
Gosh, you got to risk it for the biscuit.
I didn't realize we worked in an airport.
And that's what will happen is you won't get it, and then you actually risked it for a biscuit. You'll find out that it was just nothing but like dried brisket crumbs or biscuit crumbs that you that's what you got in that second candy bar.
And in 6 months from now, when that guy who takes care of it shows back up,
he'll fix
it.
He
might give you your money back.
No, he won't. He won't. He'll say you were trying to steal from him. Which
yeah,
is that?
All I wanted was a peanut M&M.
Which
that's
technically is true, sure,
yeah.
But
I try to stick it.
That's none of his business, really. None of his business, really.
Need somebody with skinny arms.
Did you get the big win this morning on your prize picks?
I don't think
You didn't watch 4 a.m. tennis? You didn't wake up with it?
Let me see. Honestly, I'd forgot.
Rob played some
played
tennis
this dude named
matches.
Hisson and some dude named like Pettigrew or something like that.
That Jessica Pegula, the Bills owner's daughter.
Luckily, I didn't lay down and I didn't put a lot on Pegula.
She's out. One match, she's out. I told you that girl's a crumb.
Oh, no.
You lost?
Hisson did not win 25 matches or 25 games.
I thought that was your goal. You wanted under, right?
Let me.
I think you played two. You had two lower thans.
No, he got 25 over. I'm having trouble going back to the page. Closed out on me.
Damn it.
Well, I had a good run. I was going on. I got to get back to pitchers.
Well, I think you're also just randomly guessing on tennis players.
No, that was a highly educated guess.
That's a gambling addiction.
I just chose the
right
two
there.
names that had the most consonants.
That's not a real strategy.
That's not.
No, that's not a real strategy.
I'll choose the tennis player from the country with the highest national debt.
How about this one? How about Karis LeVert, 2-year, $29 million with the Pistons?
It was about 4 or 5 years ago when he was remarkably overvalued.
Mm-hmm.
Very good basketball player, but got way overpaid. Now I think he's undervalued. I think he's still a good basketball player. He just suffered through what we will from now on known as Halliburtonitis.
$14.5 million a year.
Good player. That's a value.
I think so.
Yeah,
and on
that's
a team that's still on the rise,
Yeah.
man, and a team that, quite frankly, may have a hole to fill.
May.
Depending on how this gambling thing shakes out.
No, he won't be back. Let me tell you, he's going to have to be exonerated by God himself to be touchable for a year or two.
And LeVert's he's not that level of a shooter, but he's at least a passable shooter, I guess.
And I hate to be this guy, but for the longest time, the highest respect I could give a basketball player in the NBA is he could be a Spur. And I always felt like LeVert had that solid all-around basketball game, that would fit in on just about every basketball team. He's a good player.
We talked about it yesterday that Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 4 years, $62 million with the Atlanta Hawks.
I didn't think the Hawks had it in them, quite frankly.
I'm not really sure what their goal is. I don't know why anytime I hear the Hawks, they made a big investment, I'm like, oh, okay.
Keep in mind, this is the team that, overpaid John Collins and overpaid Capella and, but I'll give it to them. At least they're willing to spend. They just don't seem to spend it in the right place.
They don't have a plan.
They really don't.
It's like,
everybody got fired. Was it last year? The whole building got let go.
It's like they're playing fantasy or something.
It kind of is. Like they're in
I've
a
heard of
snake
this guy. Let's
draft
get him.
and they're picking 8th and they're afraid the run's about to get in, so they get somebody even though they really don't even need him. Like, well, I just don't want anybody else to have him.
And then Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 years, $53 million with the Rockets.
That might have been the low-key biggest get of the day.
I think it's outside of Jaren Jackson, who stayed where he was. I think that was the most impactful signing of the day. It feels like that might. I mean, man, Houston really is making a push here.
For good, bad, or indifferent, I'm all about teams deciding. Going, there's no
are
waiting.
we in or out? Yeah.
Are we in or are we out? Let's put it on the table and do everything we can now and just deal with it. And there's only a few guys that can survive it. You're going to have to provide some proof that it was worth the effort. But what they are doing is precisely what they should. Another guy who's in a different situation that's doing pretty good, Nico Collins, is kind of putting together a team here, man. Now, you better when you do what you did, but he is actually putting lipstick on this pig.
First of all, I don't like D'Angelo Russell.
No, but I tell you what, for a year?
Well, it's 2 years, but he does at least bridge that gap to getting Kyrie back, I guess. But
he's a flake. There's no question. But for the money, for what they needed, and the team, I'm not saying they're going to make up for what they did, the unforgivable move. But at the very least, he's doing the most of what he could in the situation he put himself in.
And I think the biggest thing that happened yesterday, let's face it, was, and this was one that I had really hoped would work out for the Spurs. Did not work out for the Spurs. Luka Garza, 2 years, 5.5 for the Celtics, fully guaranteed. I mean, just a monster of a man.
Well, he's the Cornette replacement.
Yeah, I guess so. good luck with that.
Oh, God. He's a big man. I'll give him that.
This is where when sometimes you we'll argue about players and you'll say he was the player of the year.
Yeah, he was indeed.
Like Zach Edey. Like I want you to remember, Luka Garza was also the player of the year.
Luka's a poor man's Zach Edey.
I mean, if Luka Garza, I think, was a 2-time player of the year, wasn't he?
He was a hell of a college player.
He was unstoppable in college.
But he never went more than about 3 feet from the bucket because he's 7'4", 400 pounds. He's a wall of a man.
Yeah. He is now a Boston Celtic.
Well, the thing about him is he's fundamentally sound, which is that's the prototypical white guy description. I'm going to tell you he's prototypically sound, got good feet, and can't jump over a phone book.
He cannot.
So you're telling me he's white?
Can't jump. He can't jump over a shoestring. That's the problem.
Coach's kid.
But yeah, Luka Garza. I wonder how long it'll take people in Boston to figure out that he's not a Mexican and to not throw racial slurs at him. That's going to be tough for Bostonians.
Iowa. He knows Spanish.
All right. We'll be back. Morning Huddle 94.1.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association Outlaw
Nitro Series
is back. 5 events, 4 locations.
One explosive season.
Top fuel, funny cars, promos. You are in the stands. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for 2 with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer? It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working a couple of trouble spots on 35. Northbound Olympia Parkway, wreck right lane. 15-minute delay has you slow from Judson Road. On southbound 35, the connector to 1604, the connecting ramp is closed. Also working a wreck, 35 northbound at Evans, that's in the left lane. And this ongoing road work, 35 southbound 1604 on down to Pat Booker Road. That's about a 50-minute commute. Roadway is reduced to just one lane. The right lane is all that's open for now. It's heavy from Fisher Road. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
NBA free agency began yesterday with a bang. The Spurs jumped in with both feet, bringing in Celtics former big man Luke Cornett on a 4-year, $41 million deal. In other news, it's official. Texas State is part of the Pac-12. The board approved the $5 million exit fee to lead the Sun Belt and have accepted entry into the reformed Pac-12. They will join starting July of 2026. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Still plenty to go down today, I'm sure. There's going to be it'll be a slow trickle.
Who's left? I mean, there's some names, but
let's see. The biggest names off the top of my head that are still out there. Cam Thomas is still unsolved, I suppose. Miles Turner.
Yep.
Jonathan Kuminga, who's restricted, but my assumption is something's going to go down with him. Russell Westbrook.
Well, like I said, I think we're about there.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Well, I mean, he's a difference maker.
Yeah, there's still some guys. So,
well, DeAndre Ayton didn't sign, but evidently he can't.
Duncan Robinson.
There's Malik Beasley.
There is him.
He's still out there. Al Horford.
Okay. Yeah.
See who else we got here. Oh, Cam's done. Although I guess has he signed?
Who are you talking about? Cam Johnson or Cam
Thomas?
No, he's still out. He's still available.
Okay. No, we're running out. Tim Hardaway Jr. Amir Coffey.
Still available.
Coffee Black. He's Tropics.
That's right. That's right.
DeAnthony Melton.
Yes.
Gershon Yabusele.
Okay. Quentin Grimes.
The reason I bring up Gershon Yabusele,
please tell me.
Because I like to say it over and over.
Okay.
Gershon Yabusele was a post on the French Olympic team.
Gershon?
Yes.
Yabusele.
And he.
Are you sure it's Selly or Shelley?
He's your Selly. Gershon Yabusele is a post on the French Olympic team, and we played the Team USA. If you go back to the gold medal game, think about what Yabusele did as a starter with the French team. He actually has some skill. He's undersized, 6'8", so he doesn't really fit the bill, but he has a lot of experience playing next to Wemby.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw that name out there. It's been kind of floating around on Spurs Twitter. Some other guys have noticed the fact that he appears to be a free agent with the 76ers, and they don't appear to be chasing him. So then maybe. If you're looking for a little bit of money and somebody else, that might be one guy that might be a.
Chris Paul still available?
Which is
won't be a Spur, but still available out there.
I thought he was going to play in L.A., but I'm starting to doubt that. I don't think the Clippers are going to pay him.
Larry Nance.
Dad or son?
Larry Nance Jr.
Well, Dad, we talked. Son, you can stay where
Maybe
he is.
not. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're about out of guys who can really make an impact. Bol.
Okay, I'm glad you brought him up. I actually had him written down in my notes. Now, Shaq calls him the first Victor. He compares he and Wemby's game, and they are very comparable. But there's something about Bol people don't like for whatever reason. But if he can do the same things,
he can't.
Well, not as well. But what I'm saying is, it's kind of like going and getting your backup quarterback, a left-handed backup quarterback for a left-handed starter, so you don't have to alter your playbook much. If he can do that, isn't he worth a look-see? Kinda, maybe.
Okay, no, I don't think so.
What if he was like a well-liked dude?
Sure.
See, kids, attitude matters, but he does have a very comparable skill set to Victor, and he would be dirt cheap. This guy can't even stick on Phoenix.
No, you're right.
So it's not like I think it would be a lot of investment, and there is a bit of an upside, but he is not in the classic inside the quotes Spurs material.
Speaking of Spurs, Mamu's still out there walking the streets, waiting on a job. Probably talking to some people. I don't know, but do
you think the Spurs are letting him go get a good offer and come back to them?
No,
you don't. Think
I don't think they're interested. No, I think they are.
Do you think the Cornette signing was the goodbye?
I think that it's sealed his fate.
Now you don't. You have a limited in that you watched for a year both Mamu. Have you gotten to see much Bassey? I know he's been hurt most of the time.
I watched a little bit. I mean, obviously late this season I saw more of him. But I'd seen Bassey, I feel, play before this year.
Because I kind of thought it was one or the other. And if it's not Mamu, I feel like then it probably is going to be Bassey. But
I don't feel like Bassey's a.
The one thing now Mamu has buckets. He has nights where he can go he makes shots, and there's a place for him in the league. The one separator I think between the two is Bassey has an innate offensive rebounding ability. He is really good around the rim, undersized for sure, and really it's hard for him to get his own shot. But on the offensive side of the ball, when the shot goes up, he is really good at going and getting it, and that's a skill that is to be a great offensive rebounder. Is to, one, be a guy who hustles. So obviously, you've earned it. But also, it's kind of an innate skill.
Okay, let me ask you about two swing players who are kind of at the point in their career where it feels like they would just take a job. One is Nick Batum. And a guy who, what he's only there to play defense at this point. But he's going to be solid at that, can defend a few positions.
Is he going to stay with the Clippers?
I
think he might have signed with the Clippers.
Okay.
I think he for real little, for late last night for under $2 million a year.
Okay, I didn't see that. See, that's the kind of guy I would have been interested in.
I think that's a perfect example of finding those pieces and parts to finish out a team, to kind of help along the way. And he's certainly been a pro for a long time. But I could be wrong on this Batum. But I think I heard he had gone back with the Clippers.
Okay, and here's a guy who I think at this point is kind of a similar player, although I don't know if he looks at himself as that type of player. What about Ben Simmons? If you're only bringing him in to be like a defensive replacement,
I've always been a fan of just that. But there's some baggage, and I think there's a cost to Ben Simmons. You still think there's I don't think he's fallen to the point where it's like a Nick Batum league minimum all the time. I still think that there's a value to Nick Batum that a lot of coaches see because he does play great defense, and he is I don't know if compare him to Sohan. I think that they play the same way, although I think that Pop always kind of envisioned Sohan being a lot like Ben Simmons, the 6'10" ball handling, can rip and run a fast break, can play every position. They both have about the same shot. At least
That's
Sohan.
True.
But unfortunately, Sohan's not afraid to take it, and where Ben has now been corrupted and will never take another shot. I like Ben Simmons, but and I think a lot of NBA types do, but there's a little bit of baggage that goes along with him.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's a negative thing. I think it's a fan negative baggage. I don't think players hold it against him.
I don't think so either. Now, if what you said is true, and you still think that Ben Simmons can get real money, I'm not interested in that.
No.
But like, if I thought he was in the value bin, I'd be interested.
When's to hear what a basketball mind thinks about that?
When's the last time he started?
I think he played pretty regular with Brooklyn, right? I mean, he's a usable part. But if you're a team that is offensively challenged, he's just like Jeremy Sohan. You can leave him alone. He's just not going to be. You can let him shoot all night long, and if he hits 3 of them, good luck. Congratulations. But but everything else, there's still a lot of value to him.
Ben Simmons played 18 games last year, started 0. Oh, that was with the Clippers.
Yeah.
So, but in between Brooklyn and the Clippers, he played in 51 games, started 24.
Okay.
Boy, that's the other thing, though, availability. Guys play. He's 28 years old. He hasn't had a season where he played more than 60 games since 2018.
Oh no. What's he getting paid? Does it show?
Let's see.
Because I imagine it's in the 20s.
Yeah. Salary. Let's. Oh no. Ben Simmons' last contract was a 1-year, $1 million contract with the Clippers.
He's done. Oh, then he's done.
So
that goose is cooked.
I do think
that. I'd call him.
He's in the value bin.
I'd call him.
I'd be interested in that in the value bin.
I'd have to talk to everybody that knew him for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Before I signed him. Now I'd call him and let him come work out for sure.
Yeah,
but
his cap hit last year was $755K.
How the mighty have fallen.
I know. Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Honestly, like I know it's not.
All he needs to do is release another midsummer little reel of him hitting a 3, and we'll all believe he's been in the gym grinding every day.
Like I want it to be known that he's never going to shoot. Like that's not what you're here for.
If you do, I'm sitting you down.
Yeah, you'll be in Austin before you know it. No, but that's a guy I'd be interested in kicking the tires on if that's where he's at in his career, which it looks like that's where he's at.
Would you have him or Batum if you could choose? And they're essentially the same.
I would have Ben Simmons because he's younger.
Yeah.
And maybe if he's listen, man. Anytime you're the number 1 pick, there is like a sense that maybe there's some untapped potential. I think by now he's 28 years old. We'd know if it existed. I don't think it does. But for $1 million, I'd rather kick the tires on a 28-year-old than a 38-year-old.
And I think that Simmons was a lot he brought on himself, but I also think he was a recipient of being a part of a very bad situation.
I think so, too.
I mean, Philadelphia was a cesspool. The process was a collapse. It didn't work, and he was relied on to do some things that, quite frankly, he was not capable of doing. Genuinely talented guy. You could kind of get a sense to his personality when he was still at LSU. Remember, there was a question about whether they were going to go into the tournament, and if they were, he wasn't even going to go with them.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd ever heard of a basketball player doing that. So at that moment, you knew a lot about his personality, and we should have been able to read the tea leaves.
Which, by the way, speaking of the process, Markelle Fultz also available in free agency. Not a guy that I think would have any room for on the Spurs.
No, but he is that guy will never get over what happened to him. He is who got the yips in baseball? I mean, he's the guy who
Chuck Knobloch
just out of nowhere forgot how to shoot, and even though he worked his way back into the league and has been a solid defender, big, good lead guard for a long time, that rookie collapsed with the yips. He never overcame it. He's made $100 million in the league, but the stink will always be on him.
Also, the Klansman himself, David Duke, on unrestricted free agent. I don't know what happens to him. The Grand Wizard.
So the Spurs, unfortunate. The Spurs tendered the 2 kids, Riley Minix and Harrison Ingram. I expect they're signing, right?
I would expect so. Yeah.
News? Okay.
But David Duke unrestricted, Mamu unrestricted, and McLaughlin unrestricted. Oh, and Biombo, who the late addition, also unrestricted. So. I wouldn't expect any of those guys back for the Spurs.
But Ingram is on the summer league team.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess they could get a better offer, and they're going to let him sit through the tender offer. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Harrison Ingram is a guy that a lot of people are beating down the Spurs' door for.
Well, I mean, both he and Riley Minix. What I'm getting at is, if they play well in the summer, they might get a better offer.
It's possible.
So I wouldn't sign the deal either if I was them. That's what I'm getting at.
The Spurs Summer League roster got announced yesterday.
For me,
go ahead.
I don't know anybody on this roster. But when I look at the Spurs in the summer, other than the rookies and the tender dudes, there's 4 of them on this roster. The most important name on the sheet is a guy named Mike Noyes.
Okay.
Because he is the heir apparent. Mike Noyes is taking over the Summer League team. That's the job that Mitch Johnson had. That's the job that Will Hardy had. That's the job that Becky had. If you take the Summer League team, you are the heir apparent.
Okay.
So this is a new dude. He's a UConn grad. He just got here last year, was a GA with UConn, spent some time underneath another Spurs umbrella in Memphis as a player development coach under the former administration who got fired, who was also a Spurs guy, an Austin Spur. And now he's taking over the Summer League. So pay attention to him. He's new in the building, but he has been chosen as the prince to Mitch Johnson's king as the heir apparent. So that, to me, was the biggest news yesterday.
Okay. The names that I'm interested in on this roster, I mean, obviously Harper is going to be on the roster. He'll probably play a game or two. I would expect we see a little more of Harrison Ingram. I'm interested in that, and Carter Bryant. But Cam Carter, who was at LSU last year, and it's like a 10, 12-point per game guy at LSU. I think he's got a little game. A guy I loved last year, I'm excited to see him again this year, is Nate Mensah, who's undersized but plays a lot bigger than he is. The San Diego State.
Yeah, you knew about him. I don't know much about the guy.
I thought he was really good in the Summer League last year, and it ended up not making the team. But he's back again. They're going to give him another shot. Apparently, they liked enough what they saw that they're going to give him another run at it.
I don't remember.
He was on that San Diego State team that went to the Final Four.
Oh, okay. Well, that tells me a lot about him right there. Well, it's San Diego State. That tells me enough. Yeah.
Very defensive-minded.
Say no more.
Yeah. That type of – but he's 6'9".
Say no more.
For a big. That's
San Diego State.
Yeah. If he were 7 foot tall, he would be on the team. But he's not 7 foot tall, which makes it a bit of a problem. But you're right. A lot of these guys, and names you might recognize, Jameer Nelson Jr.
He's with the Spurs. He played his last year was TCU. I think he was up.
I think so. He was but he was with Austin last year. How great would it be if David Duke and Noah Farrakhan and David Duke made the team and had to be teammates?
Don't you know that if they're on the Austin Spurs, you got to room them together, right? You got to room them together.
Oh God. How great would that be? And there's a former Aggie on the team, Dexter Dennis.
Dexter is an athlete. Dexter probably should have been a defensive end. Probably chose the wrong sport in 8th grade. Dexter is built like a defensive lineman. He's jump out of the gym, got it, but sadly has hands of stone.
That happens.
I mean, just there's not a lot. If you can't hold the ball, you can't do much with it. But he can do everything else.
Yep. So we'll see who comes out of the Summer League looking good. I don't know that there's any real super potential, any diamonds in the rough here. I'll put my name on Nate Mensah again as a guy that I really like. But
there are two. I mean, you look at the Summer League and go, is there room on the roster for this body, for this position? And there's a log jam at small and power forward, which is, that's the NBA. We've got two guys 6'11" or better on this entire roster.
Yeah.
Another further proof that the big man doing big things is not in the Spurs.
Well, and I would say of all the guys on this roster, and I don't know a whole lot about this Diouf, but
I know nothing.
I know Diallo, even though he's 7 foot, is not really a center. That's not really what his game is. The closest thing to a real life center on the Summer League team is Nate Mensah,
which
again,
and they brought him back, but he's the only one,
and he's 6'9". So there's obviously limitations there. All right, we will continue talking hoops today. We'll try to get some football talk in as well. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh. Did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders. Our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our 2 caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Tonight, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico was built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
That's better than that No Way Out, or what the hell was the name of it? The Lonely Ones, or what the hell was their name?
All Time Low?
All Time Low. Wasn't very good.
Dude.
I'd rather have a little rock, a little something, that's got some...
That was All Time Low, you idiot.
Oh, it was?
No, I'm kidding. But you wouldn't have had any idea.
Right Home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right. I'll take the first defense here. I need you to defend the second one. Chris says Simmons is talented, but I don't know. Ren says Ben Simmons is Trey Lance. I disagree. Trey Lance was never supposed to be in the league. Now, Ben Simmons should have never been the number 1 overall pick, but Ben Simmons does one thing at an elite level.
Yeah.
And I do think there is value to that, and especially when you're talking about a guy who played on a 1-year $1 million deal last year.
Yeah, he's got to be contrite. He's here to work.
Yeah, I want guys like that. Now, I'll let you defend player B. Mike says, Cornette's 29. I don't know how Spurs fans are excited about a guy who averages 5 points, 4 rebounds. Guess it's true. No free agents want San Antonio.
No, you get lost in the usage. He only played about 20 minutes a game. And
he's a good per-minute guy.
Yeah, his volume is solid, but all I can say is, yes, you're not going to see a lot. He's one of those no numbers kind of guy. But go look at Isaiah Hartenstein. What were his numbers at Boston? And what did he do when he got to Oklahoma City? He set other guys free to go do stuff, and he did the dirty work kind of thing. So he's a stronger, tougher Jeremy Sohan. Those guys could be interchangeable. They do different things kind of, but they're going to play the same position.
Okay. I'll defer to you on Cornette because I didn't pay much attention to what he did. I remember him in college at Vanderbilt being like kind of a stiff.
Oh, he's a stiff. No, he's a three-tool guy. He picks, he rolls, and he defends. I mean, what else? And he could defend three positions. That's what you want. And most backup centers, that's exactly what you're chasing.
That seems useful to me.
So I don't think he's a starter. I think what we're going to see, at least with the starting five, Wemby's going to start at 5. That's going to be the position. And we'll figure out who the other 3 guards are, if it's all the 3 young dudes. I don't think it will be. I think Dylan Harper's going to come off the bench. Harrison Ingram's going to start. And then we're going to have Dylan Harper paired with another dude, a big, whoever that, and it might be Cornette. And Cornette's job is to protect and pick and roll with Dylan Harper. And we'll see those dudes playing a lot. I get the sense that's how you'll kind of get Harper into the game and using a veteran to free him like Hartenstein was used to free Shai Gilgeous. But do the picks and let them decide to pick their poison and let him go do it. I think it's a great get for $10 million. Are you kidding? A guy who, while yes, he's older, that tells me he's in his prime. We got him right at his very best.
And yeah, he's not old like he's not 40.
Let me tell you, his game, he can do the same things and play at 40. I mean, as long as you can do those 3 things, he's not going to touch the rim. He's not going to jump up and grab rebounds out of the box, but he will hit a 3 from the corner.
Okay, here is what Milwaukee's done so far, and a lot of eyes are on Milwaukee to see what they're able to do this offseason. I want you to pretend now your name is Giannis, and you're looking at you're scrutinizing every move the Bucks make. I want you to tell me if you feel better or indifferent or worse about where you're at right now. The Bucks made 3 moves yesterday. They had already agreed with a new deal for Bobby Portis on Sunday, so won't even count him.
And that's keeping the friends close. Keep in mind that's Giannis saying, yeah, I want to play with him.
Then they basically re-signed Kevin Porter Jr., 2 years, $11 million.
Which, again, don't you figure they called Giannis? You want him? Okay, we'll sign him.
Re-signed Gary Trent, 2 years, $7.5 million. And re-signed forward Taurean Prince to a 2-year, $7.1 million deal. You basically kept the scrubs that you had.
Well, you're exactly right. But don't you figure they consulted him? All those guys are. It makes me that to me looks like they're making a nice, comfortable bed for a long, difficult season. It's gonna be tough, and you'll stay with us. Are you happy with these guys because you know them, and it's gonna be hard? And we know in 2 years you're gonna get Dame back, and we'll get us another superstar. Seems to me that this is exactly what Giannis wants. Why would you go re-sign Taurean Waller Prince?
Also, you lost Brook Lopez.
Well, that one, I don't know. I just feel like I am not making a single decision without Giannis's input. From the moment that we found out that Dame was going to be gone and all hope was lost for next year, and him telling me, look, you got to do the things right. Well, you know what? I'll let you be the GM then.
I will say I think that Gary Trent, who was one of the few guys in their playoff series against Indiana who actually stepped up and didn't stink, there's a pretty good value for him. Taurean Prince was a starter almost the entire season and stunk so bad early in that playoff series that they benched him.
Yeah, he didn't come back.
Then they were like, and then they re-sign him. Like, basically, you realize that in the playoffs, this guy's unusable.
Well, don't you figure Giannis has his fingerprints on that? Would you do that if he was even slightly unhappy with him?
I don't know, but all I know is the Bucks are no closer to a title than they were yesterday.
Again,
and
I think Giannis is the
away.
GM. I think he's the de facto dude. I think if you're telling me they went and signed those guys without his approval, he's gone. He's not staying. There's no way you hang around unless he goes, I get it. I'm with you. I will fight through this year. Let's do it with friends. Let's do it with the guys I know. At least I can trust the fact that when things are bad and we've lost 4 straight and everybody's all over me, they'll have my back. So let's pay him one more year, knowing that to me it feels more and more like he's coming back. Because if I was doing everything I could to keep him, I wouldn't. All that money I would have spent on one guy.
Yeah. Milwaukee has now created enough room under the lower luxury tax apron to use its $14.1 million mid-level exception. And the assumption is the target for them is going to be a Brook Lopez replacement, namely DeAndre Ayton. Does DeAndre Ayton being added, does that make you feel better if you're the Bucks?
Again, I think this is Giannis. I got $14 million. Go pick your guy. Literally, I'm going to do everything I can to keep this team on the right track so that in a year we'll have the money to go get somebody you really want. But for this year, pick your dude, man. I'm going to do everything I can to make you happy.
I'll be honest. I think that Giannis is probably sitting back going,
well, do you think he's literally sitting back? Don't you? If you're Milwaukee, aren't you calling him with every decision?
And if I'm Giannis, I say, you figure it out.
Well, I mean,
you put something. You tell me what you can get the best you can get, and I'll tell you if it's enough.
And I get the sense that he has. Why would I sign those 3 guys to bringing them back when there's a lot of guys that look and act and do exactly the same things that they do, other than if Giannis said, yes, I sign them because I'd rather lose with them this year and be ready in 2 years than lose with a bunch of dudes I don't know.
All I know is, to me, if I'm Giannis and I'm seeing that basically the Bucks seem intent on running it back, without Lillard, without Brook Lopez, I think this is setting up for.
If you're right, and he's just sitting back, and they're doing this without any of his input, he's gone. I wouldn't set put on a practice court if that was the case. I mean, I know that it's going to be bad, but you sign these clowns back.
Yeah,
I ain't even showing up. So if that's the case, he has zero input. Luke Cornett's going to be a Milwaukee Buck. I'm telling you, if this is Milwaukee's plan, if their best effort to keep him around, and look what we've done for you is re-signing the best we could do is keep Gary Trent and Bobby Portis. He's gone.
J-Rod says we overpaid for Cornette. I don't know if that's true. Like, Hartenstein makes $29 million a year. Like, if he's like a poor man's Hartenstein, that's about what he's getting paid like.
Yeah, it's overpaid at $10 million. I mean,
$10 million is nothing in the NBA.
You know what? Relatively to market, they did overpay by about $1 million, by about $800,000. By the market, if you're going by the other dudes that got signed as veterans playing that position, most of them got it between 8 and 10, and he got the 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's nothing egregious. I don't think.
No, we're talking. This is quarters in the cushions.
Yeah, we're not talking about, and especially because we've got a team here in San Antonio that is. I mean, quite frankly, they got plenty of room to spend right now.
If your bitch is they overpaid at $10 million for Luke Cornett, you have no bitch.
Yeah,
and there's nothing to complain about.
I tend to agree. Yeah, a lot of people on the Brigade Bar seem to think that the Rockets are the big winners from yesterday. It's hard to argue, man. The Rockets so far have probably been the top dogs this offseason.
Now, there's a little bit of variables here. Now, Kevin Durant's never played for Ime Udoka, and Ime Udoka is a hard-ass coach. Yep. And everybody to a man has to adjust to him. And now eventually everybody loves him, but it seems like for the first 2 months of playing under Udoka, you hate that dude.
Yeah.
Ask Jason, ask Jalen, ask those guys that have played for him and been successful. They wanted out when they first met Ime. So Kevin Durant's going to be baptized. It's not going to be easy.
It ain't easy, but you know what? I do think he's one of the better coaches in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Rockets are certainly in a good spot. Kind of makes me wish I was still a Rockets fan.
Maybe they'll bring you back.
Nah, I don't think so. I think I've moved on.
I'll say this:
I'm trying to back the local squad. I'm looking for the Spurs to give me a reason to really sink my teeth.
They will, but I will say this as a lifelong Rocket hater: this ain't your daddy's Rockets.
No, it's
not. This is not Daryl Morey. This is not the old school Rockets. They're not numbers driven. They're player driven, and they put themselves together a squad.
No, I certainly do. I do respect what they've built here. So I like it. They could. I think it's easier for me to separate myself from them now that I'm not there. I don't want. I still have no desire to stay up every night and watch the Rockets play, but
the good news is this is a short-term thing. This is a 2-year run.
I don't have disdain for them like I once did.
No, I think we will have it for an entirely different reason because they're whooping our ass.
I'm also not really like a huge KD fan. Like it's not my style of game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he kind of ruined the Warriors, even though they had that quick burst where they got really good. It became much less fun to watch.
He's a cheat code, man.
I know,
Really
but the Warriors pre-KD was about the prettiest version of basketball that's ever existed in my mind. And then KD came there and he was just kind of a ball stopper. And
because he's a cheat code. Why do anything else when give him the ball? Just give him the ball. I could run around him and do beautiful plays, and we could do all kinds of stuff. Just give it to him. He'll do the same thing in half the time.
Yeah. And then Chris says, that's it, AJ. Now you're coming to your senses. Spurs, baby. Championship City 2-1-0.
Come on now.
I hope so, man. I hope so. All right. Let's hit a break. We'll come back. I'm going to give away some tickets coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Got some Strange Love tickets to give away. And so much more. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
It is July the 1st of 2025. If I told you on January the 1st of 2026, you could have a new and improved you, one that is far less imposing, shall we say. If you don't have the beach body you want, if you're getting ready to head down to the beach and just, it's going to be a big old tan this year, there's a lot of time left for you to go lose the weight you want. Dr. Jacob Torres and I have known each other for about 9 years now. I walked in weighing nearly 300 pounds, big old beach body, and quite frankly, I didn't care. I just wanted to feel better. I didn't like the way I felt, didn't ever have any kind of energy. Every joint in my body hurt. It was time for a change, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the first thing he said is that once you start losing weight, everything falls into order. And he put together a plan that was just for me, and he'll do that for you. If you don't want to commit to the financial expense of those shots and all of the things that go along with it. And if you want to put yourself in a program that you can live with for the rest of your life, I want you to call Dr. Torres. It works. If you're ready to put in the effort, it won't be the easiest thing you ever do, but the outcome is well worth it. You will feel better and look better before you know it. Call him today. The number's 210-468-1891. His website, iffhealth.com, is a valuable resource. Listen, if you're tired of being sick and tired, if it's time to lose weight, call Dr. Jacob Torres today at the Institute for Functional Health. Get it going, and when you do, I'm sure you're going to come on by, and you can thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots all along 35 northeast side of town. Northbound 35 Olympia Parkway, right lane blocked with a wreck. That's about a 7-8 minute delay. Stop and go from Judson Road. Northbound 35 Evans, left lane blocked with an accident. On southbound 35, the connector to 1604, that connecting ramp is closed. We've got this road work on 35 southbound 1604 to Pat Booker Road, now causing an hour delay. Road work has the roadway reduced to one lane. Just the right lane is open. Still very heavy from FM 1103. So look out. Nacogdoches, those are good alternate routes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here, and I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is on now. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Want to know the secret to getting the best price fireworks for the 4th? Mr. W Fireworks.
We've got pre-tariff prices.
We don't charge hidden fees. And we never hike our prices.
The lowest prices anywhere, guaranteed.
Find our location at MrWFireworks.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Tuesday on The Blitz, it won't be us. We assume it'll be Jason and Joe.
I know who won't be there. My sweet, sweet kitty. We'll see what they've got planned. They're back in the saddle. Don't be late. Their party starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, sweet Kim.
Yeah. I haven't played this in a while.
One hit wonder,
She's
right?
got Betty
Did she ever do anything else?
Davis I don't think so.
Nah.
She's no Juice Newton.
No.
Won't have to think twice. She's pure as New York snow.
She sounds like Rod Stewart.
She got Betty Davis eyes. She does sound like Rod Stewart. And she'll tease you. She'll unease you. All the better just to please you. I can't get Rod Stewart out of my head now. She does sound just like him.
This reminds me of going to the Mission Drive-In.
Ready, God,
What was this, about 1981?
Yeah.
Betty Davis eyes. Not enough songs talk about Greta Garbo's standoff size.
Big woman, Greta.
Yes. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right. Brian says KD came after the Warriors lost in the championship with the best record in the NBA. Durant helped them, and no one talks about them losing with the best record. That's like one of the most talked about finals in history because they blew a 3-1 lead to the Cavs. Yeah. Like, plenty of people talk about that, and then they talk about KD coming after the Thunder blew a 3-1 lead to that Warriors team. It's talked about plenty that they blew that lead, but also remember, they won the title the year before without KD, and then won 73 games that year without KD and beat KD in the playoffs. Did he help? Sure. Did the Warriors need KD to be a dynasty? I don't think they did. It just made them less fun for me. That's all. Like, I'm not saying that I get that KD's a great player, particularly as far as he's maybe the best offensive player that's ever played this game.
Yeah, the cheat code. And he was a ball stopper.
I can't say I don't know. I never saw Wilt Chamberlain. I've never seen a player who's as good at just being an offensive scoring weapon as Kevin Durant is.
Well, yeah.
But it's just not fun for me. Like, what he did made the Warriors less fun because it went from like complete beautiful symphonic motion basketball to
why pass the ball 4 times? I can just pass it to him.
Just pass it to him. Again, I'm not. It just for me, like, as someone who enjoyed watching that Warriors team, it killed a little bit of that joy for me.
Trust me, we're coming from the beautiful game. We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
But trust me, plenty of people will remind you that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead.
And
It's talked
rightfully
about
so.
plenty.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
should be.
No doubt. And plenty of people will remind you that KD blew a 3-1 lead against that same Warriors team. It does. All right. Do you think the Spurs are done making real moves?
Not a lot of money left.
I mean, unless they go out and get Giannis, I think that there's no more impactful moves played.
You look at this roster and they're position heavy. I mean, there's a lot of forward big guards running around on this roster, but that seems to be the intent. I know this roster's not set. There'll still be somebody show up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a peripheral move, a couple of buyouts maybe to clear some space. Because, does Blake Wesley really even want to be here? Malachi Branham, does he really see a future here? I think the guys that are sitting on the bench see in transition, if given the chance, might want to go someplace where they might have a possible future. So I think you want to be on a title team. You certainly want to be on a team that you feel is going to be about to do something. But you also have to look out for yourself, and you have an opportunity to go someplace, and a team that's willing to help you get there to make room, which the Spurs would.
For sure.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some peripheral edge moves just to kind of make the roster feel more like a balanced thing where you got enough forwards if there's injuries, you got enough ball handlers if there's injuries, you got enough bigs if there's the imminent injury, and you can stash some of these guys down in Austin if they're of that stature. So, no, I don't think they're done yet.
Has P.J. Tucker ever been a Spur?
No.
He's always struck me as the kind of guy who would really fit here.
He's the classic mercenary. He's a winner. And the Spurs, during the title run, would bring in the Mercs, the guys that – no matter what, we're always on playoff teams that just knew what it took to get there.
The Robert Ory's.
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 guys that came through over the years that just were here because they knew what the hell they were doing, and he knows that. But I think that would have been more appropriate about 5 years ago.
I think so too. He may be done at this point. You know what? I'll say this about PJ Tucker. I got to cover PJ Tucker in college, and I really enjoyed being around him. If you had told me he was going to have half the career that he's had, I would have not believed you.
Best shoe game in the NBA.
And that dude turned a guy, all people ever said was he doesn't really have a position. He's undersized. He's not really great at anything.
I hit big shots.
And that dude's been in the league forever.
He hits big shots.
And there is something to be said, like, wow, you're right. That dude's played 14 years in the league, and a lot of people said he couldn't even get drafted. He couldn't play in the league.
Just will and want to.
Yeah. So
it's got to be the shoes.
Saying it's probably over for him at age 40. It's not a knock. It's just probably over for him at age 40.
Quintessential pro, man. He carved out a phenomenal career. And when you go down that hallway at Texas or in their practice gym, and they've got all those players up there, and you go, oh yeah, PJ was here. That's right. Another one of those unsung Longhorns that lived in the league and made $150 million.
Yep. SRS says, just looked into the Cornet eclipse. Hope it works out well here. We need defense.
Yeah, he's a rim protector he's a raw bone dude. He'll be the toughest Spurs. Sohan will be the scariest, and Cornet will be the toughest. And they will inflict a little bit of damage there in the paint. But he is there to free the offense because he ain't going to take a three. That's not what he does. He's not going to have any intent. They're never even going to put him out there. So he's in their set picks, roll to the rim, protect it, grab a rebound, and make other guys very miserable, uncomfortable.
Yep. He is. He has a thing. He is a great shot contester. They call it the Cornet contest or the Cornet eclipse. You don't get a nickname for something you do defensively if you're not good at it. He is. I don't know what. The offensive stuff. If he is a poor man's Hartenstein on offense, just setting screens, that's awesome. But I think the Spurs brought him in particularly to be a help on the defensive end, which is the one thing that they really, really need. One of the two things that we've said over and over they need: defensive help down low and somebody who can hit an outside shot. He fits half of those things. That's a good thing.
So you figured that's addressed. We got a backup big there. Now the search through Summer League, and the guy that the Spurs might like probably isn't even on this team. We know Riley Minix is here because he can shoot.
Yep.
But there's going to be, we're going to have to find somebody that's going to sit 14th on the bench to be the guy to come off and let's see if you got it tonight, to just light it up from outside. You'll touch the ball for 2 seconds, but get 8 shots if you do it right.
Well, quite frankly, a guy who that role may fall to because his role is likely to be diminished this year anyway is Julian Champagnie.
Good player will be, yeah.
So if I were him, I'd work my ass off shooting.
And we know you, and we know that you're capable. I'd like to see a better alternative. I can tell you that.
I would too, but again, we're like trying to build Rome in a day.
But that's the last search. So follow your shooters, and not just on the Spurs summer roster. Follow those shooters. The guys that are shooting 35 to 40% are everybody going to be looking at.
Yeah. Because outside of Harrison Barnes, there's not a lot of dudes that I trust to shoot the ball still on this team. I guess Champagnie's Champagnie's at the top of the list after him. Maybe I guess if Vassell, if he could shoot better, he would not be a guy I'd bitch about as much. But it's just not. There's no consistency with him. I'd love to see him be a better shooter. He's just not. He is what he is.
He's going to get a lot of them.
He's going
to be the designated dude as we sit right now. And the better he shoots, the more minutes he's going to get, because now he's fighting for his future as a Spur.
Better get better. Mm-hmm. Better get better. And if the rumors are true, I mean, I know if you ask Steph Castle, he'll tell you he's got a shot that you just haven't seen yet. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, bring it on.
I'd love to see it. It would make it a lot easier to put him on the floor as we decide the minutes breakdown between Fox, Harper, and Castle.
AJ, I see the future. We're not gonna shoot the ball very well. We're not gonna be. This is going to be when the Spurs lose, and they're gonna lose their share. It'll be because they're shooting at about 20% from three. They couldn't get an offensive rebound, and they got in foul trouble trying to catch up, and they took some stupid shots, and they gave up an 8-point run, and they lost because they can't keep up with volume 3-point teams. And when we go through this year, that will be the primary concern. If our defense isn't stopping it, we're not able to match it. And the 3-game will be the bugaboo.
And there are guys, namely Steph and De'Aaron Fox, who shoot volume and are just not good at it. You know what? I should probably put Wemby in that conversation too.
Well, the good news is the world champions are the same thing. I mean,
yes, but they don't shoot it. They don't shoot at that volume.
No, and we're not going to even come to that. I mean, but you don't have to be what we thought you needed to be 5 years ago. We thought that the league was truly turning into you either need to be 7-5 or hit from 40% from three, or you can't compete in this league. Well, it turned out not to work. That's not a way to win. But we do know that the way of the league is you got to score 110 points a night. If you're not, it's going to be very difficult on you. Or you got to stop them.
Or you got to be the Thunder.
And that's right. So the Spurs have chosen that fork in the road. And we know it works.
Yeah, the last thing I want is a team that doesn't have good shooters to think that they've got to be a volume 3-point shooting team to keep up. That's a loser mindset.
That's a young team mindset, and the Spurs have gotten caught up in it. That's one of those things you got to fix.
Well, hopefully with some as they've grown, they figure out that's not the way. And you see there are teams who can get to the basket and find different ways of scoring. And even I know this is a naughty word in basketball circles in 2025 in analytics circles, but develop a mid-range. Because where did you see Shea do his most damage from?
Yeah.
How problematic was he in that part of the court?
And hopefully Shea is bringing the mid-range back, because DeMar DeRozan, who is a Hall of Famer, great NBA basketball player, we act like his mid-range game is a detriment. Like if he would just step 3 feet back, God, he would be so good. No, that's an art form. That's one of those things. It's as important as defense. Your mid-range game is always there.
But it's now become like, ew.
Yeah,
mid-range.
I wish you were better.
Everything's rim and three, except you just saw the guy who won the MVP won it because his mid-range game is so great. Because you're so worried about him attacking the basket that you give him that space.
There's that gap.
And he just stops and says, okay, I'll take an open shot from 15, 13 feet away. And it's 2 free points if you can hit those.
As hard as three-point shooters were to find 10, 15 years ago, mid-range guys with ball handles and ability to put the ball on the floor, 2 to 3 dribbles, move the ball in space, go from one sector to another, and find a shot, they're harder to find than 7'5" dudes, man. There's just not very many of them.
Let's be that then. Let's be that team.
Yeah.
I do think there is some value to it. All right, look at us, man. After being the hardest working guys in the business yesterday, I thought I was going to be so drained today that I was going to come in here and not have any energy. Like Vic is well rested because he took the day off yesterday.
He's running on half the fluids most humans run on.
It's true. I mean, what'd you do yesterday anyway?
I just relaxed in bed and just.
What'd you watch?
Let's see. First, I watched Back to the Future. Then I started Blindside. Is Blindside? No.
The football movie?
No. Blind Spot on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that in a minute.
Did you smoke marijuana yesterday?
No.
We're not going to. That we don't condone such activities.
Nah.
Okay. I was going to say.
I know smoke nothing.
I was going to say it was starting to feel like a real day off for you, which I didn't like while we were working a double here.
Well, that's why we don't have sick days. We just have paid time off. We don't ask why.
Did you feel
take the day?
Did you feel bad that Rob and I were here working a double while you were at home?
Were you awake at any point?
Yeah. What time did you wake up?
At same time at 3.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And what'd you do? Did you listen to our show?
No, I was on the phone for a little bit, and then.
Who were you calling at 3 a.m.?
No, just scrolling.
Oh,
and then I fell asleep and woke about 8:30.
When you wake up at 3, do you stay in bed or do you get up?
Well, I get up to go pee, then I go back and lay down.
So you get back in bed and just grab your phone.
Yeah.
See, I can't stay in bed. Once I wake up, I got to get up. I'll go fall asleep on the couch.
Oh, I paid $2,000 for my bed. I'm going back to my bed.
It's not about the comfort. It's just I got to get up.
So once you woke up for good, did you tune into our show to take notes and see how we could improve like a real good producer would do?
Actually, I caught the last 30 minutes, but it was mainly commercials, and then I got caught up doing something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't care about.
But I
you
know
didn't
you
care
got,
at all about the show.
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, I did. You're all professionals, and I know you got it without me.
All right.
Yeah. You're top notch.
All right. We'll continue our Spurs conversation on the other side.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association Outlaw Nitro Series is back. 5 events, 4 locations. 1 explosive season. Top fuel, funny cars, promos. You are in the stands. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community when and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
The right stuff.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s.
Call Right Home Services.
Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. 210-444.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. This road work on 35 on the northeast side of town causing massive delays. Southbound 35, 1604 to Pat Booker Road. Avoid it if you can. It's over a 90-minute delay. All that's getting by is a left lane, very slowly at that. Backup starts at FM 1103. You can try Nacogdoches or Lookout. Those are good alternate routes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
NBA free agency began yesterday with a bang. The Spurs jumped in with both feet, bringing in Celtics former big man Luke Cornett on a 4-year, $41 million deal. In other news, it's official. Texas State is part of the Pac-12. The board approved the $5 million exit fee to lead the Sun Belt and have accepted entry into the reformed Pac-12. They will join starting July of 2026. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rob made the move. Someone had to do it. Someone had to be bold.
And it was successful.
Fortune favors the bold. As Rob got a free candy bar.
Fiber One Chewy Bar.
It's not quite a candy bar, I suppose.
No, it's far from it, actually.
Now, if you had known exactly what the treat was, would you have still gone for it?
No, the ring's the thing.
Yeah.
Success is all I was chasing.
It does feel
the
good.
Trophy didn't matter.
you got a free prize.
But it almost didn't work. It took a little bit of it was like it was wedged in beside the M&M bag, and as the M&M bag came out, it brought the scrolling corkscrew thing brought the candy bar almost out, but it hung there for just a second, like a putt at the Masters,
like Tiger Woods' ball at that time when it was is it going to go? The Nike commercial, and
watched with bated breath. And then Elaine, a producer over with the News Rats, banged on the.
She didn't bang on it. She accidentally bumped into it.
She just ran into it. And
no,
then,
on accident.
Yeah, it still counted. It was still a one putt, and there it went.
And now look at you.
Look at me. I'm
double candy barred.
I have 9 free grams of fiber. I'm going to poop so good for you today.
Oh, you are. You are.
Poop so well today.
You should give that to your wife when you get home. And then she's
gonna fiber.
She'll think you thought of her. And you just say, "I want to keep you regular, honey."
Here, I just want you to be able to poop on a regular.
Yes.
This will really augment your yogurt intake.
What a treat! What a treat!
I'm so glad I don't have to eat yogurt to poop. One of those lady problems. I don't know.
Miserable. Ugh. Who wants to do that? Jay Rangel says, "AJ Rob, what's your projected starting lineup for the Spurs and why?"
Okay, that's a good question, and I think that's going to be a very worthy debate over the next 6 months, trying to figure out when and where Dylan Harper becomes a starter.
Okay.
But I don't think he starts the season.
I don't think so either.
I don't want him to start.
I've got my prediction. I'd love to hear yours and see if we're on the same page here.
I think it'll be at guard. We'll have De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle. I think we're going to have Devin Vassell or Harrison Barnes. They're going to have to decide. I think it'll probably be both and Wemby. I think that's going to be your starting five.
I think it will be Fox, Castle, Barnes, Sohan.
Over Vassell
and Wemby.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't quite know which direction it'll go, but that's the defensive lineup, and Vassell would be the offensive lineup.
I can also see a world where if Dylan Harper shows enough early on that it's all three of those guards along with Barnes and Wemby. I could see that.
All of that.
I could see them like playing Harper at like almost like a 3, like in like sort of the same position that Shea plays right now, where it's like a distributing 3. Like that wouldn't shock me either.
It's going to be interesting to see how they bring Harper along, because remember last year when they were just trying to find Chris Paul was here. We knew he was a bridge, so let's see who we can help out. So when De'Aaron got here, remember they played together for a couple of games, which, and it was basically De'Aaron, watch what I do. This is some OJT stuff. I wonder how much of that we're going to do for Harper. Hey, watch what I do with him and De'Aaron Fox actually on the court at the same time. De'Aaron running point guard so Dylan can see what it's like to be on the other side and to see that position run, because I do see that being very fun. And there's also this idea that a lot of coaches believe that with my young rookie, I want to give him a personal protector, a dude that is always on the court with him, a wide receiver to a quarterback, a connection to be built. And you wonder, who will I bring in when Harper's my first guard off the bench, let's say? Who's going to be my first big off the bench that's going to be playing a lot with Harper? Not just with the starters. Obviously, that'll be a thing. So you wonder, is Cornette going to be that guy? His person, when Harper comes in, the next dude off the bench is Luke Cornette. And that pick and roll is the thing that you guys are going to be masters at by the time we get to June or to January. You guys are going to run this pick and roll every time you come in, because I want to build this partnership between you guys. I can see that being the thing, too, where he doesn't come off the bench, but he's running starter plays.
Yeah, and Gilbert says, I want to see Harper get tons of minutes. I don't think the minutes will be there for him. Yeah, no doubt. But I'm trying to think of, like, who's the odd man out of the rotation now?
Keldon.
Do you think so?
Well, we're going to have to, if our detriment is shooting.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have it available to you in a game. So you go, what's my sub pattern look like? Because I do think there's a lot of space to have Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes on the court at the same time. I'm not sure it's the best thing. So I got to have some shooting. I got to have some shooting from that position. And while Keldon attacks the rim, I got a lot of rim attackers now. I got Stephen gets to the rim, De'Aaron Fox gets to the rim, Dylan Harper gets to the rim. So that skill set isn't quite as necessary as Keldon's was as sixth man before. So
I think Keldon becomes like almost like ninth man
kind of
at this point.
Well, I don't want to call him that because it sounds like this is a detrimental term, but I think Keldon, if he's not careful, could turn into the towel waver of this team.
Okay, so I wrote down 10 names, guys, that I think will be heavy rotation guys early in the season.
We go 10 deep.
If this is the roster to start, who do you think the 10 are? The 10 leaders in minutes this season.
I'll go to the last guy probably on that list of 10 should probably be like Malachi. That would be my 10th.
Okay, I didn't even list him.
Have him on the list. So, yeah, I don't think we'll go. If we can find it. No, 10's a worthy number to have.
Yeah, I think so.
But if we're running 8 guys, I think that's the ideal thing. So I'm really curious. Who are your last 2?
Keldon and Champagnie.
Champagnie, right there. I'm with you. Who else? Let's see what you got.
Obviously, Wemby and Cornette.
Yeah.
Barnes, Sohan, Vassell, Castle, Harper, and Fox.
Put a position by every one. And I know this is positionless basketball, but I'm just curious, in your top 10, and I think you're right, let's divide them up by positions and see how unique this looks.
Okay, so center, I'll have Wemby first on the depth chart and Cornette second on the depth chart. Power forward, I will have.
Do we have one?
No, not really. But I think that I'll put Barnes because that's kind of what he did.
Sohan are probably the
Barnes and Sohan. Yeah. SF, I will put
everybody else.
Yeah, Vassell and I guess Champagny. Yeah, and then. 2 guard is one of them has to be Keldon, I suppose,
and Steph,
and Steph.
Where's Dylan?
And then PG is Fox and Harper.
I think you've laid it out.
That's the best I could do it, but it's none of them.
The good news is, all those guys you could put in a different spot except for the center. You could rotate. Every one of those guys could play 4 different positions except for post. Every one of them, even De'Aaron Fox. I'm telling you, you could run an offense where he played a power forward slot, or defensively he could D up a dude just for a long enough. Every one of those guys is capable of playing up and down the roster, and that's the intent.
I was going to say
it's just a little lineup.
I think Cornette and Fox are the 2 guys that are the toughest to move to a different position. And quite frankly, Champagny is pretty limited. But no, there is a lot of versatility with the guys that they've got here, and. I still hold out hope that there's a world where Giannis comes into this lineup.
And you can see where you could pull 4 dudes out and the team really
and you're still okay. It doesn't change all that much.
Yeah.
So I still think there is but mind you, that means I didn't even mention Malachi Branham's name. I didn't mention Blake Wesley's name.
Bassey.
I didn't mention Carter Bryant's name, mind you, and because I don't think Carter Bryant's going to be a factor on the team this year, at least early this season. I don't think
he will be a non-entity.
But yeah, I think, and that's why I also think the Spurs would really, in an ideal world, like to move a Vassell or a Keldon because they're probably more valuable. Like when the Spurs stunk, those guys were like, I mean, you could argue 2 years ago today, Vassell and Keldon were the second and third most important guys on this team. Now, as this team has finally gotten some talent, some actual real talent in, Vassell and Keldon are now more valuable to a bad team than they are to a team that's, trying to find minutes for good young talent.
I think, Devin is more valuable than Keldon. Devin has a place in the league and is somebody you trade for. Keldon is...
He is what he is, man.
Well, he's
a nice guy to have on your team, but he's...
The other Jalen
Williams, the other one. Yeah.
That's him.
Jalen with a Y.
Yeah, or Patty Mills. Remember, we love Patty Mills.
Yeah.
Patty was a towel waver and fire-up dude, and Keldon is a momentum dude. I would love to see him hang around and find that role, but I think only one of those 2 survives this team.
Eric says Champagny's limited. What? LOL, he's one of their best shooters.
Yes.
Right. What else does he do?
Yeah.
Look, that's when I say limited. Like, how many positions can he defend? Like, what does he provide offensively other than stand out there and hope that the ball comes to him and no one's around him to take a shot? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, there's value in having a guy like that, but what I'm saying is he's limited in where you can put him on the floor.
Julian Champagny is the next in a long line of guys that Pop has brought in that goes all the way back to Jaren Jackson Sr. in '99, that found a place here in San Antonio that allowed them to grow into their very unique and specific skill set. We saw Gary Neal come through and do this. The former UT guard, still playing, went on to Toronto from San Antonio. Jonathan Simmons. All these guys that were really brought off the rubble that no one had heard of, but undrafted, found a role that only worked in San Antonio. And when they went anywhere else, they got their paycheck, but their NBA careers were essentially done. They were successful here because of the environment they were allowed to thrive in. Other places, not so much. So I think Keldon might be a product of that more so than Devin. I think Devin has some transferable skill set. Champagny, I don't think can play anywhere else but San Antonio, because there's guys look just like him.
Eric says he plays good defense, plays shooting guard, small forward. He's 24. First of all, he ain't playing shooting guard on this team because there's no minutes for him there.
I think he's a very good basketball player.
I do too. I'm not trying to knock him.
There's a lot of guys that look and play just like him.
And what I was saying when I say he's limited is I'm saying he's limited in what you can consider him positionally.
Yeah, he is a find, a great get, and a great development story for San Antonio. But he's one in a long line of dudes that came here, were successful in the development, thrived in the environment, and when Champagnie gets another deal, which I think he might, he'll go someplace else and very quickly realize San Antonio was the only place he could have been successful.
And it's really nice to put Champagnie down as the 10th best guy on your team. Like it's a nice luxury to have.
Because you made him. He wasn't that when he got here. You created this.
I just don't I don't know that he's what you. And by the way, when you say he's a good shooter relative to all the crappy shooters the Spurs have. He's not a good three-point shooter.
I bet he's right there with the league average. He's an
average three-point shooter. He just looks way better than everybody else because he's at least average at shooting the ball, but most of these guys stink at it.
And he's a nice guy. He worked hard.
I like him,
but
man.
I'm not mad at him. But it's just
he's eminently replaceable is the best way to put it. Like he's a guy. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
But again, you need those. I mean, you got to fill out a roster, and if your 10th best guy is that a league average 3-point shooter and a try hard defender, I'll take that. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. I wasn't trying to make it a knock on him. I was just saying he's limited in what you can consider him positionally. Mm-hmm. Because if you try to make Champagnie your 2-guard, like a full-time that's just
you're an 18-win team.
Yeah, you're not good. Like if he's your primary, I don't like it. He's a specialized tool.
He's the next guy in a long line that eventually will get paid to go someplace else and will have attained his highest peak as a player.
He said their best starting 5 last year was him as the starting shooting guard with Castle, Vassell, Barnes, and Wemby. He's one of the best values in the league. Go look at his match.
Everything you're saying is right, but that's on a bad basketball team.
The Spurs didn't even make the playoffs last year. One of their best lineups wasn't good enough to get to the playoffs. He's at some point like you've got to improve. You've got to evolve your team. And again, 2 years ago, Vassell and Keldon were part of the best 5. Like those guys are now. And this isn't a bad thing. By the way, this is good. It means your team is evolving.
You're better.
Yeah, when the guys that were there before are kind of like, oh, they're losing minutes, that's a good sign.
This is such a Spurs argument.
It's a good sign.
We are having a very, very Spurs-like argument. On most franchises, a guy like Champagnie is a second thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. We know your role, but you're not part of the future, and we're not going to act like you are. At least here, we act like you might be.
Omar says, same issue with Sohan, liability on offense. Why are we keeping him? Because for a team that has very few guys who really cared about defense, he is a guy who does and can defend a lot of different spots. A team that's not a great rebounding team, he is a good rebounder. I think there's still value in him. Like I think he's important.
Great teams have Jeremy Sohan. Good teams do everything they can to pay him. I mean, Great teams have a guy like Sohan. Let's look at a guy like Hartenstein. Just the guys that will do everything required to win and need nothing in a box to prove it.
And there are guys who – Lou Dort's another good example of this for Oklahoma City. If Lou Dort doesn't score 5 points, the Thunder don't care. That's not what he's there to do. If Hartenstein doesn't score 5 points, they're not like, oh, it's a bad night. There are good teams have guys who – their job isn't to score any points. Their job is to go out there and take load off of the guys who are doing all the work on the offensive end.
And he can defend 5 positions. He can rip and run. He can run point. Dude, you got to do your research before you start talking like that.
Big Dog says, everybody but Wemby, Castle, and Harper are still movable. No one is safe from those guys.
That's true.
Sohan's a great defender, too, can still improve. First of all, I still think everybody but Wemby is still movable.
When we start talking Giannis.
And honestly, quite frankly, I think if you said who's the next most unmovable guy, it's De'Aaron Fox. Because I do believe that I say this and it makes people freak out because everybody thinks Wemby's so great right now. But De'Aaron Fox is the best player right now on this team. De'Aaron Fox is the guy who's the closest to an elite NBA player today. Now,
yes.
Thank you. I think that probably changes in the next year or two, but today De'Aaron Fox is the best player on this team. I think Castle and Harper are still movable in the right circumstance.
No doubt.
And when I say the right circumstance, I think they're talking about a guy from Greece.
I cannot wait to see this team. because we didn't even get any. We got a new De'Aaron who didn't know the roster and the lineup and the program, and then when he finally got that, he got hurt. I cannot wait to see what this team is because, again, you just said I don't think people realize how good he is.
I don't.
Because we didn't get to see much of him, and in Sacramento, who noticed? But
and he was just sort of he's learning how to be around these guys.
Yeah,
he was learning.
Last year meant nothing.
And he has. I mean, how many games did he get with Wemby? Like 4?
None. I mean, it was just enough to where we were tantalized just enough to know this is going to be ridiculously fun. It might not translate into 55 wins right off the bat, but every game we're in, there's going to be a stretch of about 8 or 9 minutes that is going to scare the pants off the rest of the league.
Yeah. Wesley says, disagree. Castle is the best player right now. I promise you, no one in NBA circles believes that Steph Castle is better than De'Aaron Fox today. I think a lot of people think Steph Castle can turn into a De'Aaron Fox type player. I hope that too. If you think that you're either I think you're more likely underestimating what De'Aaron Fox is and overestimating what Steph is, but Steph is still developing into an NBA. He's started like half the games last year. De'Aaron Fox is a proven all-star in this league.
De'Aaron Fox is the fastest dribble in the league.
Yeah.
I'm talking 40-time dribble.
He's
from
the
coast to coast,
he's the
fastest handle in the league. We didn't get any of that. We didn't get to see any of that. He brings a part to the game. I'm telling you, it's going to be so much fun to watch these guys try to keep up with a top 5 point guard in the NBA. We haven't really tasted it. We didn't get to see it. It's just this name out there. Wait till he straps them up and is fully healthy. It's going to be so much fun to watch.
And that's the other thing. What you saw of Fox on this team last year was like, I think it was around 19.5, 20 points a game. When he was in Sacramento, he was like a 26 points per game guy. He's finding his footing here. Like he is capable of being like a 26 point per game guy.
And doing it in very cool ways. I mean, he's a highlight film. It's going to be so much fun. And when these guys truly understand each other, about a year and a half from now, I would say a year from December, when all these guys have been together, gone through a full season, got a summer off, went through training camp, are finally getting their legs back underneath them, this basketball team is going to be greyhounds. I mean, we're going to have to pull them back in as quickly and as ably as they're going to be able to put themselves in an offensive flow. The defense is going to be there even sooner. It's going to be so much fun to watch them grow.
All right, we'll continue this conversation. I want to tell you about Karbach. Karbach is my favorite brewery here in the great state of Texas. And why? Because they've got something for every occasion and something for everybody's taste, I believe. I am a big Hopadillo guy. I am an IPA man. Rob doesn't go for IPAs. I do. And I love Hopadillo. I love that punch-you-in-the-face type of hop flavor. And the Hopadillo Imperial, which is out right now, 9.9% ABV and literally twice that hop power, just punching you right in the mouth. If that's not your thing, no big deal. Love Street, Cold Style Blonde Ale, a really smooth, easy drinker. Great sort of transition beer into drinking craft. And the Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach, both fantastic year-round beers. Rhubarb available right now, sort of a fruited wheat beer. Very, very delicious. Going to be a great poolside beer for you as well. And not only are they in the grocery stores and the liquor stores, which they are all over town, but in a bunch of bars and restaurants as well. So even the places where you think, I'm not going to be able to find a Karbach here. This is my little hole in the wall. I'm telling you, just ask. Most places will have at least one tap and probably some cans as well. So when you're out and about, you're making things happen. Even next season when you're watching these Spurs, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Karbach.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
It's Jason and Joe from The Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 21st and 22nd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. So join The Blitz at Circa Las Vegas.
Details and discounted rooms with promo code BLITZ available online at sasportstar.com.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Tonight, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Tuesday on The Blitz, it won't be us. We assume it'll be Jason and Joe.
I know who won't be there. My sweet, sweet kitty. We'll see what they've got planned. They're back in the saddle. Don't be late. Their party starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Edwin just came in. We were talking about Keldon. And my best comp for Keldon, because he was, before Wemby got here, he was like one of the most important players on this team. He was looked at as like, damn, this is as good as we got. And I said it reminded me of when I was a kid, and we had season tickets to the Stros. And so I spent a lot of years in the Astrodome watching pretty bad baseball. And at the time, Jose Cruz, in my mind, in my young, childish mind, on a bad baseball team, Jose Cruz might as well have been like what Oakland had in Jose Canseco, or the Twins had in Kirby Puckett, or the Padres had Tony Gwynn. The Orioles had Cal Ripken. In my mind, Jose Cruz was the Astros version of that. And then as I got a little older and Ken Caminetti came around, and Jeff Bagwell came around, and Craig Biggio came around, and it was like, oh.
Well, Cruz was an all-star. It wasn't like he was terrible. He just wasn't the best out there.
Jose Cruz was an all-star because every team had to have an all-star.
Well, I know, but, I mean, it wasn't like I don't think
he was the best player on a bad team.
Him and Cedeno, they were worth it, but there were better dudes out there.
Yes.
I think Keldon's going to be a Spur for a long time. I think he's going to be that guy.
I think he's the most eminently replaceable player on this roster.
No, I'm not. I didn't say he was irreplaceable. But when you start putting teams together, the 15 most talented guys don't make your team.
Or you're right.
The 15 most important guys to the team make the team.
Yeah.
And this guy, when Keldon got here, remember we got him late in the first round draft. He saved that draft because we drafted a dude named Luka Samanic. That was about the end of that little run. But Keldon turned into a player, and he became part of San Antonio. He hired a local agent, put an office right down there. When he landed in San Antonio, he was showing up in local high school gyms with open runs, playing with high school kids. I mean, he really became part of the community. And through the Spurs era, there's always been a guy that, as far as talent went, probably didn't need to be here, but was always able, willing, and was a momentum changer kind of player that when he did come in, they made a difference. The most recent was Patty Mills, and we can go all the way back to Marioli played, but he was a towel dude, and that's 30 years ago. We're talking about there's a necessary part for a guy like that, the community favorite, the community fan, the guy that we love, and he's part of us. It feels like Keldon can play that role if he wants to take that role.
Yeah.
Because he's certainly talented enough to be on this team because he does offer a skill set that, while repeatable, not at that position.
Yeah.
So there's something there.
I just think it's like you if you're a fan of a team, you grab on to what's there, and Keldon was important in a time when the Spurs were just a bad basketball team. And the hope is that, and I said this last year, and people got mad at me when I said, if Devin Vassell is your third best player, you're never going to be good. And now that Devin Vassell's nowhere near the third best player on this team, now you can start to see where he should fit in. And mind you,
I think he's going to flourish. I think he's going to play well.
Mind you, the Spurs still aren't even really like in total form of what they can eventually be. But you agree, even if Devin does thrive, he's not the third best player on this team.
But I think we're going to see a Devin develop into. He doesn't have to do a lot of stuff. He just got to do a couple.
And that's the thing.
And if he does that, go ahead, man.
If you're able to play your role, that's when you can get the bet. Like Vassell will.
He didn't have to lead us in scoring.
Yeah,
no, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. No, and that's a weight off your back, dude. You don't have to take every shot because nobody else can do it. Your life gets easier. I just hope he accepts that role.
It's a better thing for guys like Keldon and Vassell to not be guys you're counting on because they're the best that you've got.
And I do think, and Devin could be an all-star.
No,
I'm not kidding.
No.
All-star is I'm just saying you're one of the top 40 players in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. But if you're looking at the top 40 guys, the guy can do a little bit of everything, and he's going to have an ability to improve the numbers that get you paid. He's going to get a usage rate that's probably going to drop, but his points per minute and everything that goes to getting you paid is going to go up because there's going to be very little pressure on him. Just get to your spot, you'll be open. They're not coming to double you, man. There's other guys they're following. So your point guard is going to be key. You hit the shots, everything flows, man. He could really turn himself into a guy like, well, I'm going to find a good combination of a guy who grew into a spot. Not Derek White. That's not what I'm talking about. But a guy who finds his niche that becomes an NBA lifer doing what Devin Vassell does well, which is hitting threes, playing good wing defense, and just taking what the game gives you.
I just don't know that that's an all-star in today's age.
All-star's not the best word, but I'm talking about a guy every night starts and can play equal to or better. 90% of the time, he's equal to the guy he's defending. And, that might be the worst guy on the court, but still he's equal to the guy he's defending and playing against. And there's just not a lot of guys like that.
Yeah.
Well, they end up staying in the league and playing 20 years and bouncing from team to team to team.
See, for me, I think Devin Vassell's best serve coming off the bench. I think
might be
the best value of Devin Vassell is being like a sixth or seventh man.
I think he's a little bit better than you do.
Okay.
I think there's more to him that he's had to do some stuff and gone through some injuries that, quite frankly, weren't the key to his game. But if he's free to do that, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
But still, if he's no more than the fourth best player on your team, you don't have enough talent. You know what I mean? He better be the fourth best guy.
Yeah, and going into last season, the thought was it was Wemby, and the hope was Castle would be good, and Devin Vassell.
If he is better than Steph or Wemby or De'Aaron, we got a terrible problem.
Yes.
So, I mean,
it means that one of those guys was a complete dud.
Yeah, that's not a disgrace for Devin Vassell to be fourth behind those three. So we don't want him, and he shouldn't want to be that either.
Or Fox, for that matter. Yeah.
Well, no, he should not be better than Fox. He should not be better than Wemby, and he should not be better than Castle. We already know those guys better bring it.
He should not be better than Dylan Harper.
Well,
I mean
not yet.
maybe this year, but when this team reaches peak form, Devin Vassell should be the sixth man or that type of a player.
That's exactly right. And I don't think, his ego might not be able to take it, but that's the facts.
Yeah. And I don't know. And even I know if you're just going off scoring points per game, Devin Vassell was probably better than Harrison Barnes last year. I think Harrison Barnes, what he did, I think he had more value to the team than Devin Vassell did last year. And so I don't know if he's a better player at this point, but I think, you know what? Harrison Barnes is maybe a good example of what Devin Vassell can be long-term. Exactly. When you were trying to think of a guy like that.
Exactly. Find your role and be good at it, man. Take your shots, play great defense, and ask for nothing. Don't get everything.
Harrison Barnes is often thought of as like the Ringo Starr of those great Warriors teams, but they needed someone like to do that job, and he did pretty well.
Iggy did it, then he did it. Yes, there's again, your team is not the 15 best players. It's the 15 best guys for the team.
All right, let's do this. Let's give away these Strange Love tickets, the Depeche Mode experience with special guest. What is this called? Electric what? You cut it off.
Oh.
I'm sure
Come on, you blew it. You blew it. It's Electric Duke.
That's
a tribute to Bowie.
I didn't know it was cut off. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's because
I can't see.
You took the day off yesterday. You're just chilling.
Why Electric Duke?
I'm not really sure.
A tribute to Bowie.
Who played guitar?
Ziggy.
Ziggy. Why not Ziggy Stardust? I guess you can't trademark, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
Probably.
But that's July 11th at the Aztec Theater. If you'd like to go see that show, I'd like you to be there. And I'll give that away to caller number 3.
Yeah.
Caller number 3. Congratulations. You're going to see Strange Love, the Depeche Mode experience, along with Electric Duke, a tribute to Bowie, July 11th. And if you don't win those tickets, you can get them at livenation.com, and you can go see that show anyway. All right. Let us hit our break here. Man, show's already almost over today.
Flying by.
Today's doing one show a day is easy.
Compared to both.
Yeah, Rob and I were doing all the heavy lifting yesterday. You know how, Vic, sometimes you'll come into work and you're like, oh, I worked out. Are you still working out, or did you give up on that?
Well, no, I worked out on Saturday.
Apart from nearly killing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how sometimes you'll come in like, oh, that's how Rob and I felt today after all our heavy lifting yesterday. Like, my back.
Yeah. Where's the Doan's pills?
Yeah, you don't need a fix. All you need is a Rosti.
That's right. Tell us what they can do
if
for us,
If you're dealing
Rob.
with that kind of pain, there's a fix out there. It is called a Rosti. And if you are dealing with lower back issues, trust me, it works. I've had lower back issues most of my adult life. It all started way back when, and I just thought those muscle cramps would just go away if I laid on my back after a while, but it kept getting longer and longer and longer. Well, I just couldn't get over it. The first time I staggered into a Rosti, I walked out 4 visits, but later I was back in the game full force. I want that for you. If you're dealing with a painful injury, something recent, or maybe it's been hanging around for a long, long time, a Rosti is here to fix it. A Rosti is non-invasive. This is not about surgery. It's not about medications to hide the pain. It's about your body fixing itself. And again, I'm living proof it works. So how do you go? Well, they're all around San Antonio. Look for that Rosti sign. There's new providers opening all the time. The easiest way to find the one closest to you is go to Arosti.com, AIRROSTI, if you're curious. There's a map. You'll see all the local providers, easy to pick. And then when you want to go, just make the call. You don't even need a referral. The number is 1-800-404-6050. The website, again, is Arosti.com. Listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Arosti's out there ready to take care of you. No referral. They're going to accept your insurances, and they're going to get you fixed fast. Go there today, and I know you're going to come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning and heads up on 35 on the northeast side of town. 35 southbound 1604 to Pat Booker Road. That's some ongoing road work that's just got the left lane open. A 70-minute travel time through the area, so very heavy. Stop and go from Schwab Road. Lookout or Nacogdoches are good alternate routes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
People always say, Ryan, why don't you take it easy? Relax a little bit. Well, that's what the Staples Easy button is for. Just press it for quality products, friendly experts, and services like print, travel, or shipping, because we can't do it all. All right, guys? Thanks, Staples. That was easy.
Happy birthday, America!
Mr. W Fireworks has been your family-owned and operated fireworks provider since 1963.
We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection, too.
That's right. Here at Mr. W Fireworks, we have the lowest prices on fireworks in the area and with the biggest selection to choose from. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this a long time.
We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer.
Find our location near you at MrWFireworks.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky Sevens AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky Sevens AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right, Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Man, this is crazy what's happening with Cal Raleigh. 33 home runs were at July 1st.
Who?
The Mariners catcher.
I mean, the unknown rally bar.
I mean, we're talking about this is he tied King Griffey Jr. and Sammy Sosa for the third most home runs hit before July in Major League Baseball history. Only Barry Bonds, who was at 39, and McGuire, who was at 37, hit more home runs before July 1st than Cal Raleigh has. Now, part of it is this torpedo bat is in use now.
Well,
and
is it really that big of a deal?
I don't know, but like I said, I heard Will Clark on a podcast. Will Clark, who is an insufferable prick.
Yeah, kind of a solar.
He's like, but is also one of the greatest like pure hitters that's ever walked the face of the earth. So both things can be true. But what they asked him about the torpedo bats, and what he said was all these mediocre hitters were getting jammed all the time. So what they did was they just moved the barrel down to the middle of the bat.
Right.
And now instead of just, getting better at hitting, they're rewarding themselves for
barely hitting
for being a mid hitter. And Cal Raleigh, who has like historically been like around a 200 hitter, is now hitting like 250, 260 something. He's got 33 home runs. I think there has to be something to do with that. Like he's greatly benefiting from it.
Well, what I'm looking at Raleigh's career. I mean, I'm not going to insinuate anything, but the progression is ridiculous because he started out slow, and then for the last 3 years, was essentially a 30 home run hitter a season. And now from last year, and he only had 70 at bats, right? No. How many at bats did he have? He had a lot more than that. He's going to double his output, double his home runs, double. There's something more afoot than just figuring it out. There's a technological
Well, don't you think
gain.
the bat has something to do with it?
No, I think it's justifying the torpedo bat.
Well, first of all, also, Cal Raleigh is one of probably like a top 5 or 10 defensive catcher in the league, too, which this is really rare for a guy to be this good at hitting and defense at catcher. It just doesn't happen. He's also a switch hitter. Do you know how many switch hitters in history
32
have more home runs before August than Cal Raleigh has right now?
Any?
Mickey Mantle twice.
Well, that guy sucked.
Mickey Mantle hit 39 before August in 1961 and 34 before August in 1956. And Cal Raleigh still has a whole month to catch him on those. I mean, it's an unprecedented
I've never seen
territory for this guy who there's going to be an argument for him to be the MVP of the league.
Well, his batting average is up well over 50 points.
Yeah.
Over last
year. What I thought this guy was a guy who hits home runs and hits about 200 and like a Chris Davis type. And that if you're a good defensive catcher, that's awesome. But now you move up to about 260 and you go from being like a pretty good power hitter to an elite power hitter. We're talking about like a great player, or at least a great season.
His on-base percentage went from not bad, a 312 last year, to 387. He's up 77 points.
Yeah.
He's doubled his home run percentage. His OPS is 1.03. He's doubled just about everything. I've never seen anything even remotely like this.
The current odds to be the American League MVP. Cal Raleigh is the second favorite at plus 475.
They're going to have to get a big dumper campaign going. We're going to have big dump hats and big dump pants.
Now, it does seem that the odds would tell you that this is already over because Aaron Judge is minus 900 to be the AL MVP. Now, to be fair, Aaron Judge has 30 home runs and is hitting 354.
Yeah, that's a little different.
And also plays an elite center field
And we know his name.
And he plays for the Yankees.
He doesn't have a nickname, the Big Dumper.
No.
It's kind of hard to get an MVP when you're the Big Dumper.
Even though Judge is bigger than him, like he should.
I bet he dumps pretty big.
Can you imagine what his dumps look like?
Bear.
Yeah. But I'm wowed by what Cal Raleig's doing right now.
It's a good name, too. All rolls like he's a NASCAR driver, Cal Raleigh. It just rolls off the tongue. It's not just Cal. It's not just Raleigh. It's Cal Raleigh.
But leads the American League in homers and RBI.
And he looks like a catcher. He's a little sloppy, a little fat. I'm down. Looks like what he is. He's not carved from granite like Judge.
No.
Looks like a normal dude. I bet he drinks 3 or 4 Pabst Blue Ribbons after. No, he's in Seattle. What would be the local?
Rainier.
Rainier. Drinking a couple of hardline Rainiers out of the bucket.
Rainier's like what Lone Star is for us. They got Rainier.
He looks like a guy with a nickname of Big Dumper is drinking Rainier beer.
Yeah, no doubt.
One leads to the other,
and he sits on either a bucket or a fold-out dove stool.
Easy. and there is a pile of seeds, just husks for everywhere, just piles of them.
Oh man, well it's cool to watch. Like we'll see if I don't know why. I keep saying it, like even I said it a minute ago. I was like, he's turning into a great player, or at least a great season. It just feels fake.
Well, it kind of does.
But I don't know why I'm such a pessimist about stuff like that.
Because there's a reason why this is abnormal, because it's completely abnormal. No one does this after 5 years in the league, doubles their home run out, gets them into the MVP after last year batting, a respectable number, not certainly worthy of.
What was his batting average last year?
Last year in 24, let's see where I was on the wrong stats. Let me get back. So last year he played in 153 games, and his batting average was 220.
Think about that. 153 games for a catcher is a lot.
Yeah, your defensive talk is right. He's not a fast dude. He's a catcher, so hadn't hit a third. He's gotten on a third base with a hit twice in his career.
So think about that. He went from 220 last year to what, 280-ish?
He's at 276 now.
Dude.
He had an OBP of 312. It's up to 387. He had a slugging percentage of 436, respectable, up to 649. His OPS was 748 last year.
It's
now
over
1.03, which is unprecedented. And his WAR is 4.6. So he is, and that's up. Well, he had a pretty good WAR last year. His wins above were at 4.6 last year. So he's always been valuable. But now, yikes.
Yeah. Good for him. Now the Mariners still
plays well.
They're in second place. You know what? And you know what? They're probably a playoff team, or at least in the discussion for a playoff team. So you can make an argument for him. Now Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, but minus 900 seems excessive. But when you're hitting 350 and you're still hitting all those bombs, I'm sure he's going to get the love. But no, I'm blown away by what I've seen from this dude. It's kind of awesome that a dude who feels just like a regular dude. You know what I mean?
The pride of Cullowhee, North Carolina.
You know who always struck me as that, like a regular dude, was Wade Boggs when I was a kid. It was like Wade Boggs felt like my dad.
What, did he drink like 86 beers on a flight one time?
Yeah, he just was like a dude who drank beer. Like people still take him like Wade Boggs when he does these card signings and stuff. People will come up with like a 12-pack and have him sign a 12-pack of beer or a bucket, like a chicken bucket, like a KFC, because he ate fried chicken every day.
Well, the legend is he drank 107 beers on a cross-country flight.
Wade Boggs?
Although he claims it was only 73.
Jeez. Wade Boggs is like Andre the Giant.
I know. I was going to say. 73?
No, the total count was there were, in fact, 107 beers drank. He only takes credit for 73 of them.
Now, mind you, I don't even know if Cal Raleigh drinks beer. He might not.
Oh,
but I'm just saying.
Just looking at him.
By looking at him, it feels like
he does.
Like he knows how to open a beer bottle in 8 different ways.
And that's the kind of guy I want to cheer for.
And he's shotgunning him.
He can finger, eye socket, earlobe. He can open a beer.
My fantasy league that I've has been running for like over 20 years now is called the Rod Beck Memorial League. Because Rod Beck was another one of those guys.
That's of a generation, man. You had to seen him.
He had a mullet, and he literally had he didn't stay in hotels. He had he hauled a camper with him, and he would go live in his camper He'd park it out in the outfield and just live in his camper, and he'd pull his grill out and grill and drink beer and like
Buttermaker style.
talk to fans. Fans are walking up getting autographs while he's sitting out on his under the awning of his camper drinking a beer.
In Major League,
just like a regular guy.
Wasn't he the guy in Major League that led the league in nose hair? Wasn't that?
No,
didn't they bring in? He was supposed to be Rod Beck, though, right?
I think it was. Yeah, it was that kind of guy. But yeah, that was a different era. But this Cal Raleigh, kind of a throwback. I'm cheering for him. I'll say that.
I hope he hits 107 beers. That's a worthy goal. 108 beers from a flight from Seattle to Boston.
Jeez.
That's an incredible number.
That's what a beer.
You have to start early. You got to drink early if you're going to drink all day. You're going to have to get early.
For whatever reason, they don't seem to like to glorify drunks in pro sports anymore.
Well,
like we used to be
wowed
by these feats. I mean, 107 beers, like that's impressive. Now, like if somebody drank 107 beers on a flight, we'd be like, oh, we need to get him out.
Well, didn't I see like a Mickey Mantle card's about to go for like $40 million? So
yeah, but who was the he was an elite drunk.
Yeah, we're glorifying that. So at least we can give him respect where it's due.
Yeah, Mantle was the best at it. Times they are a changing. We're snowflake society. That's all we are. Snowflake society. Can't have nice things anymore. But yeah, the MVP odds when Judge is minus 900, Cal Raleigh plus 475. The next favorite, Jeremy Pena, 80-1. So it's a 2-horse race. And Jeremy Pena just went on the IL, so he's probably out of that mix too. It's Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh. That's what your MVP is. One of those two men.
If I was voting, I'd think Cal Raleigh. Who? I'm just going to vote just because.
Yeah, I would. I mean
who? Should he run? Doesn't he drive for Beckett Racing?
Don't vote for Aaron Judge. By the way, what do you think? Obviously, Ohtani is the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. What do you think the number is?
Oh, what's
Judge is minus 900.
1,000.
Minus 1,200 for Ohtani.
Even more.
Yeah.
Even more than 1,000.
Yeah.
I've never seen it that high.
Pete Crow Armstrong is 11-1, and then Juan Soto 30-1. So there's a gap between the leaders in the field, but Cal Raleigh, a guy that I can get behind a guy like that. I'll cheer for a fella like that. All right,
a guy from the Cubbies named Pete Crow. I mean, that might be. That's a whole other story. I'm about to dig into this.
All right, we got 1 hour to go, friends. We're gonna make it a good one. I feel it is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
There's more to Taco Bell's Luxe Cravings boxes than you'd expect. Unless you're expecting the choice between 3 lavish boxes of Taco Bell favorites, then you're spot on. Choose yours today, only at Taco Bell, for a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21. Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning and heads up on 35 on the northeast side of town. 35 southbound 1604 to Pat Booker Road. That's some ongoing road work that's just got the left lane open. A 70-minute travel time through the area, so very heavy. Stop and go from Schwab Road. Lookout or Nacogdoches are good alternate routes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
NBA free agency began yesterday with a bang. The Spurs jumped in with both feet, bringing in Celtics former big man Luke Cornett on a 4-year, $41 million deal. In other news, it's official. Texas State is part of the Pac-12. The board approved the $5 million exit fee to lead the Sun Belt and have accepted entry into the reformed Pac-12. They will join starting July of 2026. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Alrighty, 9:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We talked a little bit earlier about the Milwaukee Bucks and what Giannis must be feeling right now. What do you think the Lakers and LeBron are talking about right now? Like if
LeBron's not leaving L.A.
I disagree.
Unless they trade him. He has no eye on leaving. I think he's just kind of flexing. I don't think he has any desire to go anywhere.
I think he does.
Why sign the deal then? Why, if you wanted to leave and you're really going to chase it, why sign the deal? If you hadn't signed the deal, you could go play for anything you wanted and go get yourself a ring if you really wanted. I think he's happy in L.A. I think he looks over across at Luka, who is a stud, and goes, why can't we do it? Go get it right. Let's do it. But
except they're not. I mean, I know we're only less than a day into free agency, but like the options are kind of limited at this point. They lose Dorian Finney-Smith, who was already a pretty key part of what they were doing there in L.A. And now, like, what's the big prize if things go right? You get DeAndre Ayton. Do we think that moves the needle?
They're not bereft of talent, and they did.
They kind of are.
They did make the playoffs, and they add Luka for an entire season. The guy pretty much on his own went to the finals. You don't have to have a lot around him if he isn't, in fact, there. All I'm saying, there's certainly a huge possibility that LeBron leaves, but it won't be him leaving. It'll be the Lakers just going, we have to do this, man. For us to move on, we're going to have to trade you. But I don't think LeBron has any desire to go anywhere on his own. Now, if he does get traded, I don't think he'll fight it because I think he realizes his place. But what he said yesterday, I think he meant, hey, man, I'm watching you. But he's not planning on leaving L.A.
But if that's the case, Dorian Finney-Smith, they decided not to pay him because they continue to try to preserve cap space for 2027. But the thought is by 2027, LeBron's gone anyway.
I agree.
So LeBron is now in the position where it's almost like Aaron Rodgers when he was with the Packers. He was like, hey, well, what are we doing here? Like, you're drafting a quarterback instead of giving me guys that can help me win now.
Everything you're saying makes sense, except Aaron didn't just opt in. I mean, LeBron could have said, I don't like this. I'm not going to opt in. Prove it to me. Show me that you're going to do something, and then I'll sign a deal. But I'm certainly my wares are for sale. I'll take my talents. But no, he not only signed a deal, he signed one for, what, $52 million? If he's only a one-year player, ain't nobody want him. I'm not giving up 5 dudes for 1 year. And you're a Laker. You signed the contract. So not only do I take on $52 million, you're only going to play for a year, and I'm going to give up 4 dudes. I'm not trading for you. He signed the deal, so he doesn't want to leave. I think his words are one thing, but his actions tell me I'm a Laker.
I still think there are teams out there. The Knicks come to mind, and the Cavs come to mind. Teams who think they are close.
Well, he'd have to promise me I get you for 2 years minimum, and then I wanted a 3-year deal with a player option that I can use as some weight when I do want to move you as a dumping contract. But there's no way, even if I'm Cleveland, that I give up more than just an iota for a dude for 1 year. And if you promise me 2, and you'll here's the other thing that we haven't considered. He signed the $52 million as a placeholder, but just like DeAndre Ayton just got bought out, he can easily be bought out. He could get his way out of the contract and go be a free agent if that's the case. And that might be what it takes to get out if he truly wants to. But he signed the deal, and he's intimated he wants to chase a ring, but we know it's a shelf life of maybe 2 years, and I don't know a lot of people that'll give it up for that. I think there might be a team, maybe.
Yeah.
But once you sign the deal, your actions tell me you're looking at Luka and you're willing to kind of ride the wave, but and you can say, hey, I'm paying very close attention, but you signed the contract. You opted in.
The other team that I'm not really sure yet what direction they're going is Boston.
Tried down on purpose, but down.
Drew Holiday gone, Porzingis gone, now Cornette gone. It seems highly likely that Al Horford is gone, and I keep seeing Al Horford to the Warriors, which I think is a very intriguing fit. First of all, but and the guys that they've brought in, Anthony Simons, who they're still talking about moving away from, Georgie Niang and
they're not going
Luka Garza. Are like, what is the Celtics' plan?
To wait for a year.
Like like a gap year? Like we're going to
I don't think that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are ever going to play together again. I don't think that it's going to be the case. I don't know when whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I just don't think that those two are going to set foot on the court together again.
Well, if that's the case, then what are we?
I think that they're
what are they waiting on? Are they waiting on somebody to make a decent offer for Jaylen Brown? Or?
Next year, like the Clippers are angling to have max money. The Bucks are angling to have max. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are angling to have max amount of dollars to go get a guy like Jaylen Brown. But I just don't think those two are ever going to share the court. Now, they might be Celtics at the same time while he's rehabbing, but I don't think Jaylen Brown and them two are going to play together again.
Okay. And then the other team who things haven't quite gone all that well for in free agency is Detroit. And most of it's not their doing, but this Malik Beasley thing is really problematic. And they lose Dennis Schroeder. They bring in Karis LeVert. I don't know if you want to call that like a lateral thing.
It is.
But
it's a different position. They lost some point guard help, an experienced lead guard.
And I guess maybe they're thinking that they get Jaden Ivey back, and that's sort of addition automatically.
They got a lot of talent. You can see why it looks bad, but they got a lot of dudes on that bench.
Yeah. I just wanted to see – I thought the Pistons would be a team – when we were talking about the East, Orlando and Detroit are the two teams that I thought were poised to reap the rewards of everything that's happening in Milwaukee and Boston and, everything just sort of in Indiana, everything kind of falling apart for everybody else. Detroit and Orlando seem most poised to pick up those scraps and, like, maybe contend in the East along with Cleveland. But Detroit, this is not a great start if that's the goal. And a lot of it isn't their fault. And I don't know. I mean, I guess the Malik Beasley thing kind of puts them in real sort of a pause mode, right?
Gosh,
you can't just forget about him and say
they lost their best scorer.
Yeah,
they lost their best.
At least their best shooter.
Yeah, they didn't lose their best player. I mean, Cade Cunningham is certainly that, but him and Duren and Beasley were the three, and then they drafted Ron Holland, which they thought would be their four core dudes, and Oscar Thompson. There's a lot of young, good dudes there, but he was going to matter. Ron Harper, the other guy picked that they have a lot of help for, Dylan's brother. Beaslly mattered. They've got some other guys on the roster, but it set them back. It really did.
Yeah, so I think while Orlando's done a lot of things that I like, obviously bringing in Desmond Bane's a big deal. I think that Detroit, it's just, and again, it's not all they're doing. Like, they're just kind of, I think they're stuck now waiting on seeing this play out, because you don't want to just say, okay, well, Malik Beasley, we throw him out with the bathwater. Mm-hmm. First of all, this isn't like, it's not a good thing, but it's also not quite like like the Wander Franco, where he's a pedophile and you got to get rid of him and banish him away, get away from our organization. Like, the hope is there's a mistake, and
let's hope that this is just
there's an explanation.
Of happenstance. But did you see the highlight that I'm seeing float around of him ripping and running a rebound with no time left on a clock, dribbling down and getting a layup, and all the other players? This is like a couple of years ago. No time left on the clock. He grabs the rebound, hauls balls under 5 seconds, gets the layup for his team to cover. I mean, it was all the rest of the players on the court were like, "Man, you're stat padding." No, it looked like he was chasing a number.
Well, I mean,
good
players win. Great players cover even when they lose. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I'm not
my kind of guy.
Man, it sucks.
My kind of guy. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully hopefully there's some sort of explanation for it, but not ideal, certainly, for the Detroit Pistons. All right. Here we go. Little breaking news. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4-year, $285 million Supermax contract extension.
How much more can we give you? Is there anything more that we can give this man?
That seems like
they literally gave him everything possible.
4 years, $285. Wow. Worth every penny, right? I mean,
how'd you like to sit down in front of that piece of paper
and
write your name, knowing no matter, as long as I don't murder or rape, I will get
yes.
This is true.
Or bet on basketball.
Or bet on basketball.
Don't do none of that.
Every penny of this. If I decide right now I don't want to play, I'm going to get fat, I'm going to show up when I want to, I'm going to get every penny.
Dude, how great is that?
Hey, Claymore is slacking. He normally posts that first and gets mad at you.
Do what now?
Who's mad now?
No, Claymore always usually sometimes posts the breaking news. And, I knew before Shams type of guy.
No. Shams knew first, I think, this time. Shams knew it first. He beat Claymore to the punch.
Yeah.
That's all right, Claymore. You're
Yeah, he's still good.
he's still he's still
He's paying
beating
too close attention to the Mavericks free agent pickups.
Yeah, he is.
He's still beating Woj. I mean, who cares?
Say it again. I miss him. Miss the Woj bomb.
All right. We are going to take a quick break, and when we return, we will look at what's going on in the world outside of sports, including the Beef Tongue Bandit. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I hope you woke up this morning and washed yourself clean under a Connecticut water softened shower. If that's you, carry on. You're doing things the right way down here in South Texas. But if you're using another water softener, and if, God forbid, you don't have one, you need to listen to what I have to say. Because right now, you've got access to the very best water softener you can get in this part of the world. It's made in the United States. It doesn't plug in. It works off kinetic energy. It's science. I don't know. It works. It doesn't have one of those motherboards that breaks. It only turns on and cycles when you turn on the faucet. So what does that mean to you? Well, it saves you electricity. It certainly saves you on salt. But when you get the peace of mind of having a piece of equipment that just works year in, year out, day in, day out, when you turn on the faucet, what you get is just the water, nothing else. That stuff that might have gotten stuck in your appliances, might have ended up on your skin and in your hair, on your dog bowl, on your dishes, everything. You don't worry about that anymore. That white powder is not part of your life, and your dishes are taken care of. Your appliances will last longer. You're going to look good in fashionable clothes, and people are going to admire the things that you say. Well, I can't guarantee the other two, but you can guarantee your water will taste good. And if you've ever wondered, can I afford a Connecticut, now's the time. Great deals to be had. With approved credit, you get 0% financing. There's money in your old water softener, and there's a gift, a reverse osmosis drinking station right there at your sink. They've got the decor to match your beautiful decor. Never another water bottle required in your home. Now's the time to call Connecticut and get the very best. Call them today at 656-PURE. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details. And once you get one, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning, and heads up on 35 on the northeast side of town. 35 southbound 1604 to Pad Booker Road. That's some ongoing road work that's just got the left lane open. A 70-minute travel time through the area, so very heavy. Stop and go from Schwab Road. Lookout or Nacogdoches are good alternate routes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Fireworks are awesome, but overpaying for them? That's not so awesome.
Mr. W Fireworks, we've got the lowest prices around. No hidden fees, no crazy markups, just real savings with pre-tariff pricing. Go to MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Step up to the plate and add your favorite players to your lineup with Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports? The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
What do you say? Morning Huddle 94.1. Some of Texas's finest right here. Did you guys see the breakdown of the voting for the WNBA All-Star Game, the Lady Basketball All-Stars?
No. I know that Caitlin set some kind of record.
Well, Caitlin was she was the top vote getter by the fans. Not even really close, quite frankly.
I think the most ever. For a
yes,
player.
And that's no surprise.
Yeah, not at all. Wonder if Cheryl Swoops voted for her.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Now, she was so basically the way you do it is they rank them 1 through 10 because the way it works is it's 50% fan vote, 25% media vote, and 25% player vote, and they weight those scores, and that's how they decide who the starters are for the All-Star team. Caitlin was number 1 fan vote with a bullet.
Asia Wilson, player vote?
Asia Wilson's in the front court, so they separate them guards in front court. Number 1 in the media vote was Alicia Gray from the Atlanta Dream. She was 7th in the fan voting. Alicia Gray was also number 1 in the player voting.
Wow. See,
so
I think players should be voting on All-Stars. I do.
Well,
I know, I get it. You want to keep the fans happy, but to keep the players happy, let me pick.
Well, let me continue here because second in the player vote was Sabrina Ionescu.
Mm-hmm.
Third was Skylar Diggins.
Yeah.
Fourth was
we're missing
Natasha Cloud.
Uh-huh.
Fifth was Paige Beckers. Sixth was Kelsey Mitchell. Brittany Sykes, 7th. We get all the way down. Caitlin Clark was 9th in the player vote.
Well, I mean,
the players hate her.
Well, she's also a second-year player.
Paige Beckers is a rookie and was 4th.
The players don't like her.
There's no way around it. They hate her.
There is a lot of players that don't like her, and I think I should apply that to sane player voting. I mean, she's not the best player in the league. She's the most important player in the league. Big difference.
Aaliyah Boston, her teammate, was second in the fan vote in front court players, ninth in the media vote, ninth in the player vote. So,
where's Me Bound?
She was fifth in the fan vote, 12th in the media, 12th in the player.
So 12th in media, 12th. That's probably not even top. That's appropriate. I don't think that's hate vote. That's
right. I mean, that's about right. Asia Wilson, first in the media, first in the player, third in the fan vote in the front court.
I think pound for pound, she's the best lady player in the world.
It's hard to argue. I mean, multiple-time MVP. Brianna Stewart she was 4 across the board, fan, media, and player. Nafisha Collier ends up being the highest weighted front court player, 1 in the fan vote, 2 in the media, 2 in the player.
So they got that right.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be like that every year. I mean, in every league, the most important and the best are 2 different things. But I will say this, it's just the WNBA is going through massive growing pains right now because as we look at the disparity in the votes and your most important player is obviously not your best player and you've got this internal strife, the Indiana Fever are a mess. And then on the heels of this, they announced they're expanding by 4 teams coming up. You guys can't even handle what's going on now. It is a circus. You're spinning plates in every direction, and you're growing for sure. But you just get to feel like this whole WNBA, the long-term prospects are good, but the short-term just feel messy right now.
Now, this is something to consider. When you think, okay, they voted her 9th, that seems low, admittedly. But if I told you she's only played in 9 games this year. Mm-hmm. She's shooting 39% from the field. She's shooting 29% from 3. She's averaging 6 turnovers a game. 9th feels more accurate than 1st.
True.
So you can, while I say the players hate her, and I really do think the other players hate her.
I think the older ones do, yes.
I think part of why they hate her is because she's not the best player, and they continue to treat her like she is God's gift. Mm-hmm. And I understand how that would be frustrating.
It would be. But the tide is rising, and you're all making money. You're all going to make more for her. I get it. Egos are in play here. But she is the reason that sports talk radio hosts in South Texas are even feigning interest. And you're going to have to just accept it. You're just going to have to get used to the fact that sometimes you have to accept that they might not be the perfect preacher, but they're the only preacher you got. And you're going to have to let her carry the way. And, yes, she's bringing in a lot of people that are not basketball fans. They're not WNBA fans. They're Caitlin Clark fans. And that's galling, too. You only care about them? You only care about the Fever? That team isn't even any good. You're only watching that game? Come watch some real hoops. I get the anger. But when you get your next contract, when you're negotiating again and all that TV money she brought, you better pat her on the back. You don't have to respect her, but you better keep her. You better understand that she got that money for you. She did.
You know who seems to be hated even more than her? Kelsey Plum came in 6th in the fan vote, 6th in the media vote, 16th in the player vote.
Well,
16th?
She's kind of on the end of it, though. She's had a good career.
Okay.
But, and for it's kind of like we had that Devin Vassell, Jose Cruz comparison.
Yeah.
The league is just a whole lot better. When Kelsey came in, she was really good. Now she wouldn't be considered really good. You know, the league has caught up to her ball handling and her athleticism, all the stuff she was really good at when she came in. There's a lot of girls do the same thing now.
And James says they better learn to embrace her. It'll blow up in their face. They're literally looking a gift horse in the mouth. But like I said, I just read you the numbers. Caitlin Clark she's not the best player in the WNBA, but so I kind of understand the frustration.
Yes, there's no doubt there's frustration. And this is not a fair comparison, but it kind of is. Back 1983, 4, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, if he wasn't white, would just be another player. the rest of the league looked at Larry like he ain't got it. He's just white, and everybody's looking at him. This is part of the growing pains. Yes, sometimes the best guy ain't the important one. It's the most important guy that matters, and she is the most important player in the league. No, she's not the best, but you better treat her like she is because she's bringing bank.
But is it almost like Jake Paul brings the most eyes to boxing?
And no, AJ, you're so right, but you can only do that for a finite amount of time before people start calling BS. Like, no, you're not that important. All you were was a sideshow.
Well, are these players calling BS?
Well, we're second year. The numbers, when she is healthy, she's given it. But yes, there is a ticking clock for Caitlin. She's going to have to back it up, and she did as good as she could considering her injury issues. But no, there's a ticking clock. You're going to get chewed up and spat out if you don't deliver. But right now, she is the most important thing in the league.
Right now, she feels a lot like, and maybe this isn't fair because she has shown flashes of brilliance in the WNBA, but it almost feels like Tim Tebow, where there are people, no matter what the stats say, people are still going to defend it and say it's coming. And I mean, I don't know if it ends the way Tim Tebow did. Tim Tebow, it turned out at the end of the day, Tim Tebow just couldn't play in the NFL.
Right. She's more than that.
And I'm just saying, but it does feel like
very much
the early returns are going, oh, maybe not. But there's still a bunch of people saying, hey, you'll see. You'll see. Now, again, I'm not saying that she's going to go the route Tim Tebow did, where when they said you'll see, they were wrong. Maybe you'll see becomes right. But right now, it feels like we're defending something to an irrational level that doesn't seem like it should be defended this hard. Like,
eventually, you're going to have to show me. And we're 2 years into this, and I think that by the end of next year, if we have not seen production, there's going to be a bunch of I told you so's and a bunch of panicking. Because there are 4 new franchises announced from the WNBA that are solely going to be there because Caitlin Clark came into the league. Prove it otherwise.
So far this year, she is significantly worse than she was last year, her rookie year.
Which is not uncommon. I mean,
it's
sophomore slump. It happens.
But, all of her shooting splits are down. Her turnovers are up. I kind of get why WNBA players are like, what the hell is this? What are we doing?
Was this all since her altercation with the...
No, this is what was going on beforehand. But since that, it's gotten worse. Since that, she had an 0 night. It hasn't been well. And she has been banged up. At some point, she doesn't have to, at some point, she's going to have to win a ring. But at some point, you're going to have to be like, if you're going to be the Wayne Gretzky of the NHL and single-handedly grow the game in the United States, you're going to have to produce. And Wayne consistently produced.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do it. Larry produced. Michael produced. Well, guess what? You are going to have to produce. Or we're going to look at Paige Buchers. Well, look at the next. There's somebody else coming around the corner. The good news is the money's secured. We will get rid of you fast because we're going to have to replace you quick if you can't live up to it.
Which, by the way, Paige Becker's already scoring more points per game than her. Already shooting better splits than her,
and looks and makes a real pretty highlight too. She looks good doing it.
I don't know, man. I see both sides of it. I understand from a business standpoint how the importance of Caitlin Clark, but I also understand that it's almost like I'll give you another great example. I think of a comp. There's a lot of Conor McGregor to this, where Conor McGregor, even after he started losing fights,
didn't matter.
The money was still the same because when Conor McGregor was on the card, people watched.
Yeah.
And there's a value to just that. Like, there's
but
a reason.
He won first, though. He got the ring,
right. and that is a difference.
And right, so Caitlin has a ticking clock, but absolutely, she sells tickets, and it matters. She does some pretty ridiculously cool stuff when she's available. But no, I get it, I really do. But I do believe she is that good. I do believe that if she stays healthy and they do the things around her, that she can transcend this. But it's almost by design. I mean, you want this kind of strife. You want her to overcome the me bounds and all of this. And if she does, she will lift the game to a place where they didn't think they could go a lot quicker.
But right now, I will say this. Well, because the narrative after this voting thing came out yesterday was all the other players are jealous. It's hatred. But the reality is, if you look statistically, the fan vote and the media vote are more off base than the player vote. She's a lot closer to the 16th best or the 9th best girl in the league than she is to number one.
I don't think
so. And that's just.
I don't think your average voter thinks that. I think most of the Caitlin Clark voters only know about Caitlin Clark.
Do you think most of the Caitlin Clark voters know where she's at statistically compared to other girls?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, not at all. No,
I don't think so either.
And I think the true basketball minds, even though, I still think we put her up there because the highlights are still sticking, but at some point availability, and you're just going to have to prove it because there's so many good players out there that are being glossed over, forgotten about, not even talked about, that there is a current thing. Hey, man, what about us? What about us?
All right. I did have this story that I wanted to get to. I know normally I do non-sport stuff in this segment.
I thought the WNBA counted.
The beef tongue bandit has been nabbed in Lytle.
Is this
Texas.
something that's being stolen, or he's got a big tongue?
No, Lytle, Texas, Lytle.
Yeah,
it's right down the road, right?
Down south, yeah. Fine place. Lytle, Texas.
A woman was busted on Saturday at HEB trying to stroll out of a market at HEB with a cart full of stolen goods.
Get some La Lingua going.
Including $150 worth of beef tongue.
That's a lot of tongue.
Jeez.
Yeah, it took place at the HEB Plus near I-35. And according to Lytle police, an officer just popped into the store for lunch when he spotted Roxanne Hernandez walking out of the store without paying. He tried to stop her, but a scuffle unfolded, which prompted another officer to come help. And around that same time, the suspect's husband showed up and escalated the situation. And luckily, it says the officers were able to calm him down and get her under arrest. The beef tongue bandit had slipped out the door with $308 worth of groceries, including all of her meat and a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper Zero.
Well, at least she's watching her weight.
Yeah.
She was booked in Atascosa County Jail on theft charges. The beef tongue bandit.
She took every one of them.
What a name. That's all. She's like, I'm here for the tongue only. Yes. Yes.
You ever tried to cook?
No, I never have.
You gotta get that.
I enjoy it. I enjoy
really
eating
good.
it, but I've never tried to cook it myself.
I watched it prepared. Well, does it?
Yes.
Really?
It's kind of like.
Don't you have to get the?
Like
you gotta get the
and everything.
Any part of head generally stinks. Anyway, but
Yeah,
the
my
meat
wife
itself
will not eat lengua because she's like, do you know where that thing has been? Like, well, yeah, that's why you cook it.
Say, promise, honey, my tongue's been in worse places than that
you don't
one.
want to have
That's
any
right.
idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Enjoy your taco, honey.
The beef tongue bandit thwarted. Yeah, so great. You're like the.
What are you in for? You might have heard of me. I'm more than famous. I'm infamous.
Oh,
I am the beef tongue bandit.
That's like the kind of name remember in Home Alone the guy Marv, he wanted him to be called the Wet Bandits.
Yeah,
and the guy was we don't need that stupid name. He's like, yeah, we're the Wet Bandits. Yeah. Like, beef tongue bandit is like, I don't know, that's one I would pick, but it's like, when she's going to jail, she's like, you can call me the beef tongue bandit.
I hope there was more than just one in there. I hope she was actually stealing like 10 beef tongues.
It was $300 worth of tongue. I mean, I don't know what the price of tongue is these days, but I can't imagine it's
not that
$300.
That's a lot.
That's got to be a lot of tongues.
A lot of tongues.
Yeah.
We're having a plate sale.
All right. We'll be back. We're going to wrap up the show the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of tongues.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
You know, I'm not getting any help here.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I got ball joint help, and I appreciate that, Casey, for thinking about my ball joints. But I'm just saying, if what should I do? I need some advice. I need a professional car person to tell me what I need to do without trying to bend me over.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
We're going to draw one name of a person that sold their car to GiveMeTheVin.com and give them $25,000.
Wow. Give Me the VIN is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
Could you imagine being that person? Wouldn't that feel great?
That would be awesome.
Well, honey, you won.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Heather Krager of Dallas, Texas won $25,000 and Give Me the VIN's big cash giveaway.
That's so cool.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
I guess that old Mercedes was worth more than I thought.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
George gets justice. It's you versus them. The driver who changed your life. The insurance company dodging your calls. They want to give you up. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they take on insurance giants and they fight to win. No upfront costs, no games. Just the fight for results. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get two select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm wide awake.
Isn't
I
she
won't be in about an hour, I can tell you that much.
No kidding. Isn't she newly single in this?
Yes.
Yeah, she's available.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Orlando Bloom.
Been there, done that, wrote a book.
Katy Perry's pretty hot.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh, you would you?
Yeah. If I found myself single, I would.
I find the Caitlin Clark conversation fascinating.
I do too, but I mean, again, I think it's because the general thought is people rush to defend her. And they were like, Dick Vitale, this is Dick Vitale's quote about because he tweeted about the voting. And you tell me, like, now that I've given you the statistical breakdown of what Caitlin's done this year, I want you to tell me if you think he's right when he says this. He says, it is absolute jealousy. Jealousy, he says. The absolute pure jealousy that WNBA players voted Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard. Someday they will realize what she has done for all the players in the WNBA. Chartered planes, increased in salaries, sold out crowds, improved TV ratings.
But that has nothing to do with play, Dick.
Exactly.
And so I get what you're saying, brother, but you're not proving the point that I want you to prove.
Because isn't All-Star voting supposed to be who's had the best season?
It's player on player, yes. My point, I find it fascinating that we say that, and Dick is trying to. There's no bigger ambassador for the game of basketball than Dick Vitale, but yes, everything you said is true, but that has nothing to do with play on the court. My issue is about the league, is about the WNBA. They also have to understand how stars are treated. And there was the way that it used to happen, and then there's the way that the NBA treats stars. And stars get better treatment than regular players. Stars get fouled more than regular players. Stars get opportunities to hit free throws and win games. Caitlin, the league, the refs, the players, they're not treating her like a star. She's getting the hell beat out of her. I mean, they're face guarding her with every moment. If the WNBA was truly leaning into propelling Caitlin to stardom, she'd be at the free throw line 10 times a night. She would lead the league in free throws taken a night because of the beating she's taken. I think they need to do more to protect her, to put her in a position to lead the league in scoring. It might be the Shai Gilgeous free throw merchant stuff, but when they're getting the crap beat out of her, they're not protecting her at all. They're not helping her catapult into into space. The reffing is so bad that they're letting them beat her up. I mean, they're not helping themselves as a league to promote her, even though the fans are still chasing her.
So we want a less physical lady basketball league?
I'm just saying that there comes a time that the great players get the benefit of the doubt. The great players get to carry the basketball. The great players get to travel in the NBA. AI gets to do what he gets to do. Jordan gets to do what he gets to do. LeBron, because they're great players. We know they can do the other stuff if they need to, but they don't have to.
Well, didn't they earn that?
Caitlin's not getting that. They did. They did earn it. And there's a line that you cross once you get, like Shai is now there. Shai, now he's a free throw. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
He's going to take 12 free throws a night every game because that's what he does. Caitlin hadn't gotten that benefit of the doubt.
You know where they don't, where they're not as physical is in the lingerie basketball league.
Well,
if she wants to play in that, maybe they'll let her.
I would argue that man for man, person for person, that the WNBA is more physical than the NBA.
It is. Oh, no doubt it is.
And I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that physicality is limiting their superstars' ability to be a superstar.
Yes. Speaking of lady basketball, Dawn Staley, this is according to The Athletic, during the process, the Knicks reached out to Dawn Staley, league sources told The Athletic, and while she impressed in that conversation, she is currently not considered a finalist for the position, according to league sources. I don't know if that means she said no or the Knicks decided against it, but, I mean, the Knicks still don't have a coach, so...
I was being a little facetious yesterday, but I do think that this is a good... Her timeline and the Knicks timeline are crossing at really good times. I mean, the Knicks need it. She's achieved everything.
Yeah.
And either you jump now or you never jump. It'll never be a better chance for you to go to a good team that has finals possibilities than right now, and it won't ever get better.
All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do. We'll take a look at the Daily Lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
In honor of the discussion we just had, the lady basketball match tonight is going to be first off the board.
All right.
Fever plus 6.5 at the Lynx.
Do we have no Caitlin, right?
No Caitlin. She can't play. She can't. I mean, she's not. Is she even on the team? I don't know.
I don't know where she is.
Is she even on the team?
She's doing a bathing suit shoot.
The Lynx best player is the other gal who Nafisha Collier is the other captain of the All-Star game. So she's the opposite Caitlin Clark, captaining the Western side of things.
I think Navisa's got 23 points in her tonight.
I have no idea. I would be throwing darts. I don't want you to.
Tell you what,
don't put any money betting on my WNBA takes. But
this
I would imagine
betting Hawaii late Saturday night.
I would imagine the Lynx minus 6.5 with no Caitlin.
They have Caitlin expected to play here. I have her on my board.
ESPN has a big out next to her name.
I have her at least on Prize Picks. She's on my board at 18.5.
Okay.
Or less.
How about, can you pick more or less turnovers?
I think that I can, actually. Let's see if we can bet the negative on this.
Because I can tell you her game log with turnovers, 8, 8, 6, 4, 7, 10.
Only turnovers I can bet. All right. Wow. This isn't a bet. This is a fantasy pick.
Sure.
Only one I can is Aaliyah Boston at 1.5.
Oh, well, that's no fun. Does the numbers don't go high enough, huh?
They're not going to give me the Gremlin and Caitlin with 7.
Jeez.
You know what? John says Caitlin Clark's in the same boat as Eminem still is. I disagree completely. Eminem, his first 2 albums were like legendarily good, and all the other his counterparts all saw it immediately and gave him his flowers immediately. This is Caitlin Clark. They're acting like Caitlin Clark's Vanilla Ice right now. Yeah. And quite frankly, statistically, she's played like Vanilla Ice this year. So that's more telling, I think. Eminem was almost immediately respected by his peers, where that is, and maybe you could say, well, that's lady jealousy, getting the jealousy of these hating ass gals. But I'm not so sure.
It's jealousy.
Hey, jealousy. Major League Baseball today. We got a full slate of action. We'll start with a day game in Toronto in the Great White North.
A little lunch money.
Max Fried and the New York Yankees, minus 165 on the road. Kevin Gausman going for the Blue Jays. Yankees minus 165. Padres are in Philadelphia taking on the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez going for the Phillies. Nick Pivetta for the Fathers. Phillies minus 165 favorites. It's Paul Skeens Day.
Yes, sir.
Paul Skeens minus 170 are the Pirates. They're at home against the Cardinals. Andre Payante.
Let's talk some
going for the
Skeens on the
Birds.
DFS. What do you see? 1.5 earned runs allowed?
I
don't like that one.
I don't know that I like that.
4.5 hits allowed? I'm not sure I like that one.
I don't. What's the K number?
Let's see. Where are we at K's? They're not going to give me. 4.5.
Oh, I like higher.
Yeah, I like higher.
Higher than 4.5.
1.5 walks?
Pass on that.
I'm going to just see what he's done in the past. No, he's had, actually more last. 3 walks last game.
Yeah, well, last game, remember, was his the worst game he's ever had. So I'd be careful going too much off of that one. Minnesota.
So you like strikeouts over or under 4.5?
Higher than 4.5 is the way I would go with it. Joe Ryan and the Twins are minus 155 at the Marlins. Edward Cabrera going for the Fish. My biggest futures bet in Major League Baseball is on the Marlins under, and they've won 7 games in a row. So I'm starting to panic a little, but I'm going to say the Twins get the job done today. At least I hope. With Joe Ryan's been money, and the Marlins lineup is just ass. I have no idea how they're winning. Jack Flaherty and the Tigers go to Washington, D.C. to take on the Nats. Trevor Williams going for the Nationals, and the Tigers minus 155 favorites. Jeffrey Springs and the Athletics are in Tampa taking on Shane Baz and the Rays. Rays minus 165. Freddie Peralta and the Brew Crew head to New York to take on the Mets on Bobby Bonilla Day, a big celebration in New York.
He's buying.
Clay Holmes, what up, Holmes, is pitching for the Mets. Mets minus 120 favorites. Brady Singer, like me, a singer. Me and Brady have something in common. Brady Singer is going for the Reds. They are in Boston taking on the Sox. Richard Fitz going for Boston. Boston minus 120. Tyler Anderson and the Angels plus 160. They are at Atlanta. Grant Holmes, what up, Holmes, going for the Braves. They are minus 200 hosting the Angels. The Orioles send Brandon Young to the mound to take on the Rangers. Jacob deGrom going for the hometown Rangers. Rangers minus 190 favorites there. Matthew Boyd and the Cubs also minus 190 favorites at home. They host the Guardians. Gavin Williams going for Cleveland. Stros go with Colton Gordon, minus 160 road favorites against Chase Dolander and the Colorado Rockies. Rocket Mountain High.
On
Told you I was a
fire.
singer.
In Fuego.
Unstoppable. Astros minus 160. Giants go with Hayden Birdsong. A lot of song references, singer references today.
Right?
The Giants are at Arizona to take on Zach Gallen and the D-backs. Diamondbacks minus 140 favorites. Michael Lorenzen going for the Royals plus 120 at Seattle. Emerson Hancock going for the Mariners. They're minus 145. Shane Smith and the White Sox plus 265 on the road taking on the Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto minus 340.
You see 18 pitching outs on this guy?
Yes. I think he gets
under 3.5 hits.
If he, you know what? Probably so. Either one of those would probably work. I mean, the Dodgers they count on. They don't have a lot of healthy starting pitchers. Yamamoto's been one of them. So when he goes, they try to get length out of him. I like that. I like that outs probably the best.
17.5. I do too.
Yep. So there you go. There is your look at the daily lines. I guess Wimbledon's still going on. We did mention that Pegula, Jessica Pegula is out
already.
What a loser. We'll talk about her on losers next week. The men's, the latest odds for the men's. Have any of the big men been knocked out? I don't think so.
I think they're just getting going.
Carlos Alcaraz still your favorite, plus 125. Yannick Sinner, plus 185. And Novak Djokovic, plus 650. Down the road a little bit, my favorite tennis player now, Alexander Bublik, 35-1. Bublik.
When in doubt, pick the guy with a headband.
Yeah.
Go with the guy with a headband. That's just my betting angle.
And if they're both wearing headbands?
Go with the darker headband.
Yes.
But in Wimbledon, they're all wearing white.
They all wear white, yeah.
Go with the guy with the consonant that ends his last name.
Yeah, or off-white.
It has to be like a Z or a Q. If it has that.
Zverev.
Something like that. If it has a V on the end, go with that.
Oh, yeah.
Alcaraz, the
a
favorite.
Z. So you go with consonants and a Z or a V on the end. And surefire winner.
So not Yuri Lecheka.
No.
And not João Fonseca.
Oh, God.
Oh,
no.
Okay. And Francis Tiafoe, you're out on. Now,
he owes me money.
Andre Rublev.
See, there's a winner.
There's a winner. All right, friends, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. The Blitz, the real Blitz, comes up at 2. We'll see you tomorrow. Morning Huddle.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for